You ready? I'm gonna sit in the snow-covered bench. Holy smokes!
This is the story of an old man who feeds a gathering of fat raccoons every night for years. In the process, the raccoons have neglected their hunter-gatherer instincts. No longer do they forage in the wild for foodstuffs. No! Instead, they hang around this old man's crack shack, waiting for him to emerge of a night time with a packet full of sausages that they can consume. Notice how they line up. Notice how they take the sausages in turn. They have become ordered, yet complacent, because one day, this old man, fairly soon, will die. And whilst they may feed on his corpse for a matter of hours, couple of days, the regular inflow of sausages will stop. They will have to return to their hunter-gatherer instincts that they neglected. It's a sad day. And what will happen eventually is that the raccoons will lose all memory of the man who fed them every night for years. They'll go back to being wild animals, and if they can't survive, if they can't readapt, if they can't become who they were, then they will die. And that's the fate of all of us, isn't it? To be forgotten, to die, to become dirt in the ground or ashes floating upon the wind. We're all going one way. Eternal oblivion. There's nothing, no hope, no deliverance, no salvation. So whilst we're here, whilst we're in the moment, it's time to live it up. It's time for the Golden Gunts.
Hey guys, what's poppin'? So I get home from work last night and I see I have a whole bunch of comments saying you won the Golden Gun Award. And I was like, what is that? I thought it was just like some random like internet troll just saying dumb stuff. You know how some people do that sometimes. So I look it up and I find out, oh, it's a real thing. It is.
I know I'm a royal mess, and I'm probably a fucking fag, but I can't take shit anymore.
I want you to please get up off your chair, turn around, and walk out of the room. Because you're not involved in anything decent or good.
I think I'm a handsome beast. Look at me. Look at these eyes. Look at this chiseled jawline, these cheekbones.
I just hate this feeling. I'm so trapped in this miserable. I just want to die.
But as we find ourselves within this world of change and perpetual motion, we find that the old is always, without fail, sullied by the present, disgraced, ravaged by the present, by the issues and qualms of the present, with no heed of the future, with no heed of taking past lessons. No, everything just gets worse. Everything just ascends. Everything must burn.
We're in my backyard, and you're probably wondering, why are we here? Well, a year ago, I made a bet with Kevin Logan that if Trump won re-election, he would dump ice water in his head, and if Trump lost, I would dump ice water in mine. Now, yes, the election has not been finalized, but a bet's a bet. He's called me out, so I now take this bucket of ice water and dump it upon my head.
And now, it's time for the 185th Annual Golden Gunts Awards!
Academy of Kino and Nectar representative for Canada reporting in.
The Academy representative, Kino and Nectar from Austria, representing in.
Academy of Kino and Nectar, America Division.
Academy of Kino and Nectar representative for England, reporting in.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2021 Golden Gunts Awards. Here with our valuable hosts, the most esteemed man in the internet, Godwinson, and the greatest man to ever grace an internet screen, PPP. Welcome, gentlemen. Are you ready for tonight?
I really am. It's our 185th year running, isn't it, Ashton? And here we are. I mean, it's exciting. Amazing awards will be given out this year. We've got over 30 categories. We've got prizes for every single thing that you could possibly think of. The whole year in review. Isn't that right, PPP?
It's the whole year in review. Everything that you would want to have looked over again and awarded for its merit or lack thereof, we will have this evening in this long-running tradition throughout the grand spectrum of time in the multiverse. The
Indeed.
Academy of Kino and Nectar is bringing it to you live, the Golden Gunts Awards, the most prestigious award of the year. Some people say it's the Academy Award, the Oscar. Some people say it's the Grammy. Those people are idiots. Some say it's the Golden Globe, but we all know the most prestigious award of all is a Golden Gunt. And tonight there's going to be some big prizes. Godwinson, you want to let them know what some of the shiniest awards are this evening?
Well, I'll hold back on that because, first of all, I just want to say a round of introduction, really, for Cahool, who's joining us this year. He's the Academy of Kino and Nectar representative from the United States of America, a war-torn country, burning, on fire.
My state, my city is on fire. My family's running for their lives. But you know what? I still have time for the Golden Gun because even if I die, it's more important the Golden Gunts get done. That is the most important event of the year, really of my life. This may be the biggest moment in my entire life, frankly. And I just can't wait to get into this with you guys.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
let's just tease a few of those awards then, shall we? We've got Janny of the Year. We've got the V Award for Loyalty. Amongst many, many others, we have the Richard Spencer Award for Most Homosexual Leader of the White Race. There's so many prizes to be given out tonight.
Christopher Cantwell Award for Most Effective Federal Asset. Janny of the Year. Come on.
I know it's exciting, but let's not give it all away right away, guys. The people gotta watch the whole show to know everything that happens, don't they?
I do want to say, though, that I did formally oppose an American entrant into the Academy of Kino and Nectar. It had been for years a long-standing tradition that we wouldn't let any filthy 56% Amerimuts in to the Academy of Kino and Nectar, but due to the new refugee status of the United States of America as a third world nation, it was only fitting that as a work of charity, we actually allow an Amerimut into the Academy of Kino and Nectar this year.
And what an Amerimut we've chosen here. The Incel King, coronated not days ago. King of the Incels is joining us now. And it's not because we went to Swindon and tried to corral Sargon into being the third host. It's not because of that. It's not because we asked Ralph and he said no in a drunken stupor. It's not because we even stooped as low as asking Gator, who just didn't even respond to our emails, our copious emails. And it's not because Patrick Casey said that we weren't based enough to be on a show with him. No. Gahul was the first pick.
I was number one. Number one OBS slave.
Let me tell you.
No one...
And it's because he's the epitome of America.
Oh man, we're losing PPP. No! That's true.
All right, then, Mr. Gahul, would you like, as Master of Ceremonies, to introduce the first category for us here tonight on the Golden Gunts
Awards
2021?
We're starting with a big one. Really one of the biggest awards of the year, I think. It's a special award named after a very special man. It's the Richard Spencer Award for Most Homosexual Leader of the White Race.
There we go.
And I have
the nominees are, Mr. Gahul.
The nominees are Nick Fuentes, Patrick Casey, and Jaden McNeil.
So we've got three pretty homosexual fellows there, haven't we, PPP? Nick Fuentes, first of all. I mean, a chance for cat boys, for being sodomized by cat boys and Milo Yiannopoulos.
Well, you know, he's eating cheese pizza with Milo Yiannopoulos. He's talking about banging Jaden's dumper. He's going clothes shopping.
Slap the dumper, don't forget.
He wants to slap the dumper. He's going clothes shopping with cat boys.
What a disaster.
Very homosexual. Hanging out with Baked Alaska, a man with bleach-tipped hair. You know, walking around, attacking teenage girls in a fit of homosexual rage at women. But then we have...
I mean, he has gay sex with men, right? I mean, I'm assuming, like, he just does, right?
So he ultimately qualifies for the award, then, right? But we're going on degrees of homosexuality.
Yeah, well,
so it's not just a baseline of whether they've been sodomized.
You have that level of homosexuality from Fuentes, but you got to remember, Jaden McNeil is Fuentes' bitch. He's his anal slave.
The twink in the operation.
He's the twink who takes it in the dumper from Nick. So in the hierarchy of homosexuality, while Fuentes might be more flamboyant and theatrical with his homosexuality, is he the top in that relationship with Jaden, which then makes Jaden even more homosexual because he's the submissive receiving partner, you see?
That's a good point. You know, I mean, if we're going to rank these men by hierarchy in the white race, you know.
As leaders, don't forget. So not only are they homosexual,
these are leaders.
Flaming and flagrant. They also have to be leaders of men of the white race.
Right. I mean, you have Nick Fuentes, who's clearly the top dog on his small little throne. Patrick Casey and Jaden McNeil, you know, it's really tough for me to pick. I'm not as well versed in homosexuals as some people on this website are, but
well, Patrick Casey, we haven't really covered Patrick Casey.
Well, he's the spurned lover in this. Now,
yeah, he is the almost equal of Nick Fuentes. Like, he could have absolutely slapped Jaden McNeil's dumper, and I'm sure he has.
Well, he absolutely has slapped Jaden's dumper. Jaden is by far the low man on the totem pole. He's probably taking it up the ass from Nick while he sucks off Patrick.
Jaden lacks is the true sort of Faustian spirit to lead men to incite insurrection.
Because it's not just that you're a homosexual, it's that you're a leader of the white race. And in that leadership capacity...
How powerful, how potent is your leadership? Are you able to gather the doxes of your various papers, get them to sign up for a site, get them to go to an AF PAC event with Louis Theroux documenting them with the BBC?
Well, you know,
is Jaden McNeil able to do that?
I don't think he can. These are some great questions here, guys, and it's just
I don't think he can.
But
what's
the definitely did try and do something similar to this, didn't he? With his identity Uvopa.
This is what was happening. Was Patrick topping Nick, or was it a switch relationship? Who was the bottom in the relationship between Patrick and Nick? Because I think what it was is that Patrick was topping Nick, but Nick felt that he should be able to switch and top Patrick. And Patrick became disgruntled when Nick entered his pooper, which led to the overall breakdown of the FBI operation because they were disgruntled about who should be slamming the other man's anus. And I think it was a question of Mr. Fuentes didn't use enough lube when he was lubing himself up to go into Mr. Casey's ass. And this was the issue that they had. So I don't know if it makes him more or less gay that he wasn't using the lube on Mr. Fuentes' ass, but I think this was the point of contention.
I've heard enough of lube entering Mr. Fuentes', Mr. McNeil's, and Mr. Casey's anuses.
I heard that there was a frothy mixture of cum and shit that was spewing from Mr. Fuentes' anus.
A debate here and announce the winner. Gahul.
Well, let's bring it to our special master of award presentations, who will present this award now to us. But I'd like a drum roll, please, everyone, if we could have that, please. And the winner is...
And now, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies and gentlemen, for the winner of the Richard Spencer Award of the most homosexual leader of the white race, it is Nick Fuentes.
Wow! Wow! What an upset!
Stunning victory from the Mexican leader of the white race, Nicholas J. Fuentes.
Couldn't it?
It had to be Fuentes.
Child Mexican leader of the white race. It could only have been Fuentes.
Well, I think Casey made a desperate play to get this award by attempting to coup Nick, but it just backfired on him, and Nick stole the spotlight once again, and he is the top dog, and he is the most homosexual man.
He was the top dog.
Category, Mr. Gahul.
Most based boomer. We've got a classic award for some classic people here, some elderly statesmen of the weird world. The most based boomer nominees are Gonzalo Lira, Coach Red Pill, Queen Bee, and Jim Watkins. Now,
well, Gahul, get into the specialist nomination of Jim Watkins here. Give us the time.
He wasn't on the list to begin with, but I had to put him in. This is the man that is not only the leader of 8kun and 8chan, which is perhaps one of the most boomer tech websites of all time, 8kun is, but he's also the leader of the QAnon. Whether he is QAnon is up for debate, but the reality is, what defined boomers more in 2020 and 2021 than QAnon? Nothing. That was the ultimate boomer moment. And Jim Watkins was the leader of that boomer moment. Now, is he the most online person? No. He stopped doing his YouTube streams and deleted all that shit. But when he was, and he was speaking to the people, there was no one more boomer in the world than him. He literally had his son, his autistic Happa son, run a website for him so he could get his political friends to complain about Trump online. That, to me, I mean, frankly, the writing's on the wall. I think he's a shoo-in this year. I mean, maybe he's a sleeper pick for me. He's a dark horse. But I think he's
Jim
the
Watkins,
horse.
He does seem strong. He does seem strong. But don't forget, this is a category also shared by Coach Red Pill, a man who's bizarrely, in the past couple of months, been discovered by the rest of humanity. And they've all been expressing their outrage. And how dare this man say that women are dogs? How dare this man slate slatternly women and say that any woman with tattoos should be avoided? They are the devil. They are the sin to not be succumbed to. PPP, do you think Coach is giving Jim Watkins a run for his money?
I definitely do. I mean, Coach Red Pill, we have to remember, was again proven right. It's the saddest words of mice and men. Coach Red Pill was right again when he said women are like dogs, and then Alice was in the parking lot acting like a dog, barking on all fours in the parking lot, responding to Chicken Andy's commands like an animal. We were once again reminded that Coach Red Pill is like the Alex Jones of this community. He seems outlandish at first. His takes are wild, but given enough time and he's proven right again and again.
And one of those incredibly wild takes that people sniggered at, didn't take seriously, was that aliens were coming to invade us. And yet again, Coach Red Pill was right. Coach said that the aliens were going to beam us up there and ravage us and take us all.
And let's not forget the massive amount of sexual pleasure that Coach bestowed to women this year with his boyfriend ASMRs.
Yes.
I mean, There's countless thousands of women that are flicking
the women
flicking
of the,
the
world
beam.
are the women of the world are lucky to have Coach Red Pill whispering into their ears as he's wiggling his feet.
That's true.
What you have to realize is that if we all just follow Coach's advice, women will be happier because they'll have been put in their place by men. That's right. They're bringing the patriarchy back with Coach Red Pill, folks.
But nobody does what Coach does with the style that he does it. He does it with such style.
It's bravado.
I mean,
bravado.
the various
it's
angles.
Well,
the angles are taken for granted. The cinematography is taken for granted. The showmanship is taken for granted. The scripts are taken for granted. But what people don't even know to take for granted is the music that he composes. He's out there on his keyboard, tinkling away. You know, women are dogs.
He's an original composer of music.
Just, outstanding.
Well, this is why.
And let's not forget his contributions to Twitter. He's been dunking on feminists and leftoids left and right this year, giving up some hot boomer takes. And let me tell you, some of these takes are some Kino, boomer Kino.
And he's at LMFAOing at the world here.
Yes.
He's not just responding to just American politics. He is the world. He's attacking everyone. This is why I said Jim Watkins was the dark horse pick and who I think should win. But
now,
this is Coach's award to win, really. This is.
Allow me to retort, my friend. For there is a nominee for Boomer of the Year that has been overlooked by many.
Now, just quickly, we should preface this by saying that this woman was going to be in Schizophrenic of the Year, but we had to scrap the category because it was a bit too low even for us. This woman then was going to be in, what was it, Disgraced Old Bitch of the Year?
She was a shoo-in for that.
Of the year.
I mean, this woman, her name is Kat, the Queen Bee Bear, 69 years old, 69 years young.
A golden
really
age.
Is Kat. She, of course, is well known for smoking turpentine from her bong, which definitely cannot damage the lungs in any way to smoke a corrosive chemical agent. Okay, she wants you to know it's very healing to smoke turpentine.
And also,
she went
what's incredibly
to Owen
healing,
Benjamin's house.
Also, what's incredibly healing, PPP, is rubbing gold on your skin.
You rub the gold on your skin, and it's magic.
Rub the gold in between your hands there.
Yeah, what you do also when you have sores from nanobots, of course.
Yes.
Nanobots that are attacking the skin. What you do is you take nail polish remover and pour that into the festering open wounds on your legs. And that will remove the nanobots. It's about 99.9% effective on nanobots up to 10 microns in size.
But
so
don't
that's
forget,
what you
she's
do.
also
We've learned a lot.
She's also an incredibly generous soul. Whilst she helps herself and informs others like this, she's out there in the real world feeding humanity, giving them samples of her piss and spit and snot in acts of just benevolence, really. At the workmen at her trailer park, she'll give them a cake with all of those ingredients in it. And she
just
won't
have
tell them.
boogers and vaginal
she won't
fluid.
tell them, but she will tell the rest of us, and we will all partake in the joy of that.
Yes. And so she is a very strong contender to take
Now,
Coach
we are
Red Pill
forgetting that
off
she
the throne.
actually accosted Mr. Benjamin, Owen Benjamin, not Carl,
at the post
in the
office.
post office.
Yes. She came up to Owen and said, "I've come so long." She got on her knees. "I've come so long, sir, and I'm going to heal you." She was saying she was going to heal Owen with the gold. She said, let Amy revel in the gold.
And as she was withdrawing the gold, Owen thought that he was about to die there and then. He was about to be shot, blasted to oblivion by this
She was
crazy old
reaching
bitch.
for something. He thought it could have been a gun. He thought it could have been a knife. And he said, "Stay back, stay back." And he was her cult leader. And he told her, "No, you crazy bitch. Get out of my face, and I won't even give you your $400 back because it's mine, and Bertaria is mine. Your Bertaria is in your heart." That's what he told her. Bertaria is in your heart, so go live in your car, bitch.
Bertaria is in all of our hearts, isn't it?
It is.
It's with us always.
And so, she's had Bertaria in her heart, living in her car for the past few months. She's been freezing. It's very cold. And she's been making videos screaming about Bagbear. And it's very Kino.
And what based behavior for the based boomer nominee.
It's
So,
true.
Gahul,
who's the winner here? I mean,
who's winning?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the award for Most Based Boomer, it is Gonzalo Lira.
Oh my god!
Wow!
Yes!
Red pill. The most
Huge
based
victory.
boomers.
A tough
Gonzalo
category.
Lira.
So competitive.
Sexiest man alive, the most interesting man in the world. Gonzalo
Most
Lira.
charismatic man in all of existence, right?
Well,
Gonzalo Lira.
And now he's officially the most based boomer of the year.
I think it's 3 years running for coach in this category.
I think we need to name the award. I think if you win it 3 times, it's your award, man. It's the Coach Red Pill Based Boomer of the Year from now on.
There we go. So let's move on to our next category. Mr.
It's another
Gahul.
base category, ladies and gentlemen. It's the most based Black Man Award.
Now, who are the nominees for this? Because we always have a perennial favorite, and maybe this favorite shows up this year.
Well, it was a tough year for base black men this year, but we've got 3 nominees. First of all, Brittany Venti. Second, Barricade Garage. And third, but certainly not least, Henry Davis.
Now, Brittany Venti, we all know Brittany Venti's antics. We all know about the cat shit on the bed. We all know about her being, let's be honest, the most based of all the black men. But we have 2 more black men that are almost new to the audience here that PPP is going to talk us through. So Barricade Garage, first of all.
So we have Barricade Garage. This man is a very based black man, very red-pilled. He's woke to the JQ, is Barricade Garage. He works in a garage fixing vehicles. He's been to prison. He's a convicted felon. And he's really for Trump. No, he's for Trump and shit. But he also is now, he's breaking the right-left paradigm and shit. And he's making videos talking about how gangs need to rise up and overthrow the government in a race war now. So, base Barricade Garage.
Positionism, dog.
Now, Henry Davis is another MAGA black grifter who sells shirts that say, "Go Trump or cry," with his big black face on it underneath, "Go Trump or cry." And he's basically one step from homelessness, living in the ghetto of St. Louis. He's just constantly begging for PayPal donations. The last time I saw him, he was actually making a video in a soup kitchen. He was going in the fucking soup kitchen to get free fucking meals. And he was like,
well, look, only the most based. Only the most based of black men refuse to cook their own meals. In fact, refuse to even pay for their own meals.
It's pretty based.
That is
Go
based,
Trump or cry. And these leftists, if they come up in my hood, they're going to get the smoke. And he pulls out his 9mm. They're going to get the smoke. Henry Davis going to give him the smoke. So we have some really based black men up in this category.
We've got some really based black men.
Up in the hood.
We got Brittany Venti. We've got
Barricade Garage. Henry Davis.
Henry Davis now.
Shit. Let me get back. Let me pick Brittany Venti.
But which one is gonna pop a cap in your ass, Gahul?
Well, you know me. I wouldn't let a woman near 5,000 feet of me, so I think any one of them, but probably not Brittany Venti. But it's not up to me. It's up to the great council of judges of the Golden Gunts Awards, who are about to reveal to us the award winner. So, ladies and gentlemen, the winner is...
And now,
if you can do like a black voice as you shout, or maybe shout Henry Davis or something.
And now, black voice. And now, ladies and gentlemen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the award for Most Based Black Man, Henry Davis.
Henry fucking Davis!
Henry Davis! He's upset!
In the fucking kitchen! Let me get some fucking soup, nigga!
He begging for donations! He's probably totally homeless now. I'm not even gonna lie. He hasn't made a video in a few months.
Well,
like he's homeless.
Within his cardboard box, what will keep him warm at night is his special Golden Gunts Award for being the most based of all the black
men. The warm embrace of a Golden Gun can melt any man's heart.
There's no warmer glow.
There isn't.
The embrace of a golden gun. So next category.
This is a one that's near and dear to my heart. The most wasted comeback of the year.
Now this is a really interesting award, isn't it? We've had the Academy of Kino and Nectar did a big shortlist before we started recording, and this was one of the most contested categories, really, because who are the nominees, Gahul?
Well, we've narrowed it down to 4 nominees because we couldn't cut to just 3 because there's 4 men that just deserve to be on this list, all for different reasons. The nominees are for Most Wasted Comeback, Mundane Matt, Baked Alaska, JMK John Michael Kelly.
Now, these are 3 massive, seismic, game-changing names, and the 4th man.
Who is the 4th man? Movie Bob. Movie Bob. Now,
so let's run through those in order. Mundane Matt, he had his comeback this year given to him gracefully by us.
By us, he's based, he's back, he's with all of us. He's ready to come back and be the leader of this.
We had him as part of the Kino crew here. We had him in the fold, inside the tent. And he was our man on the inside. We were really bouncing ideas off Jarbo. We were facilitating his return.
This is Jarbo's
we had him on even with Joshua Konamuna, and proprietor of the Kiwi Farms there.
Yep.
He had it all. He was slamming the skull of Ethan Ralph and Andy Warski and everyone that once slighted him. They were being ground and pulverized into the ground.
But something stopped him. Something stopped
him. And it's the age-old thing that always stops Matt, isn't it? And that's himself.
His hubris.
His own hubris.
And
brought him down.
And quite frankly, his belief The Rock is not a movie star. That the Boulder Man was fell to The Rock again.
Well, that was when we first knew
something
that Jarbo was irredeemable. That the redemption arc could not be completed.
It was almost an overnight switch, right?
There was
a time when he was like in the Discord plotting Ethan Ralph's murder, saying how he was going to piss in Andy Warski's skull, how he was going to send coat hangers to his house, and then almost the minute later he was grifting for shekels on his Boulder Talk radio, crying in his car as he opened Funko Pops.
I need super chats for Funkos. I need the super chats.
I need to go to the Funko Museum, and I need to pay money. I got hit on the head in the back of a car in LA for $20.
He learned precisely fucking nothing. Look, folks, we did our best
to raise the dead. Were we foolhardy to bring him back? This is a question that's plagued us, really. We shouldn't have brought him back, apparently. We should never have done this.
We were confident in our own abilities, and we were able to raise the dead. We were able to take somebody buried long ago in the ground for years.
We got the Necronomicon
maggots eating their flesh, and we pushed out the Necronomicon, and we raised that motherfucker. Matt Jarbo rise from the grave. Now, Matt Jarbo, you're going to kill him.
We rattled the bones there. We rattled the bones, we sacrificed the goats and the rabbits, and we brought Jarbo back from the dead.
We brought him back, he was alive. But you can't keep somebody alive. Do you know what I mean? It's on them to make the most of their second chance once they've been raised from the dead. And unfortunately, Matt Jarbo was still the fucking decayed-brained, retarded, mongoloid, arrogant motherfucker that he's always been, and he fucked it up for himself just like he fucked it up before, and he'll continue to be delivering Uber Eats until he's dead in the fucking ground in real life as well.
Well,
it's tough.
The rot of the cape shit brain, it has rotted him. And now he dedicates less time to being Monday Matt and to being $3 theater. And frankly, Matt, no one wants to hear your dog shit takes on superhero cinema or why The Rock is not a movie star, Matt. No one believes that. He's an insane individual.
You're
frankly,
40 years old. It's time to get off the internet. You're 40 years old.
You got kids, man.
Family.
You got wife and kids.
It might not be your children.
Kids living in his vicinity, but they're not biologically his kids.
It might not biologically be his children, but they're around him. But we know that Jarbo likes to be around other children as well, according to the esteemed scholars at Twisted Mind.
Desperate situation that Mundane Matt is in.
It's just sad.
He might even continue to have future comebacks, but we now have learned the lesson for ourselves that he will waste those comebacks. He will never really, truly ascend or become who he was. It's always a downhill slope for Matt. Even when he seems to be rising up from the shallow waters there, he seems to sink even deeper into the puddle. And so when his next comeback comes to us, it's just a full storm. A full storm. And that's what Monday Matt was. A full storm. Our next comedy was...
Well, the next one was Baked Alaska. And 2020 was...
Baked Alaska had a whole year.
It was the Yoba. It was the year of Baked Alaska.
The year of Baked Alaska. Now, it was a comeback, right? We thought Baked Alaska had died with him crying about how 8chan had radicalized him. About how the alt-right was evil. About how he disavows all IBS and all of this. And suddenly, he's back with us on an RV, no less. Terrorizing the mentally ill, pepper spraying them in the eyes, Chaggot in tow. I mean, this really was his comeback, and it culminated with the Capitol insurrection that Baked Alaska personally led, organized,
it was him,
and allowed to take place.
And then he ended up, of course, so, I mean, when you look at Baked Alaska, he went from being a complete disgrace, having gone from being at Charlottesville, alt-right, died in the wool, to then after the Christchurch shooting, he Judas the alt-right, dyed his hair bleach blonde, said he was a leftist, said he had been indoctrinated into a terrorist cell. He lost all of his viewers, all of his relevance, all of his clout. Daddy Jim had shit on him previous that had fucked him up big. And he was like streaming to like 30 people. But alas, he brought back his big comeback, IRL streaming in the ghetto with Chaggot in Chicago. They got fried chicken in the hood. The black people descended upon the car that they were eating the fried chicken in like a flock of seagulls. And they were each given fried chicken. They complained that it wasn't enough. I ain't got shit. I only get one piece of fried chicken. I
just want to chip in and say that the brilliance of all this was that Baked Alaska permanently had the camera in his own hands, and he was streaming all of this for us live. We were always able to watch, no matter where we were, no matter what situation we were in, 24/7 live streams of Baked Alaska, getting up to the most crazy of shenanigans.
He got on the RV. They beat up lesbians in parking lots. They were macing bouncers, and of course, women, and as I predicted, and cashiers, gas station attendants, and as I predicted, this led to a terrorist event on the 6th of January. Baked Alaska was the scapegoat to take away all of the great law-abiding American citizens on the rights. Anybody who was a Trump supporter. Baked Alaska committed a Reichstag fire event for the federal government to seize your liberties. That's what it culminated in, and he ended up in solitary confinement. I'm not sure if you've heard this from the Good Morning Groiper a few weeks ago. Solitary confinement. There were black prison guards beating up Baked Alaska while he was in solitary. They treated him mean. There was a towel fed. Baked Alaska was on the run, and he was confronted by a federal agent pretending to be a concierge with towels who had like a camera, I guess, in his lapel recording Baked. There was the towel fed. Jesus. The revelations, never cease. But Baked ended up in prison.
He definitely had a comeback, and he's definitely wasted that comeback because he's languishing in a jail cell. Yeah.
Well, the ultimate end of his comeback should have been the return of Baked Alaska. Get back and becoming the ultimate streamer. But he flew too close to the sun, like Icarus. And
I will say though,
and his wax wings melted.
His bleach blonde wax wings melted in the sun.
Feds. He may very well have made a deal with the feds to have all the charges dropped. This is what he's saying, is that he's going to have all the charges dropped, but he didn't sell out to the feds. So we'll see how it goes.
It's possible that we may be seeing a second comeback from Baked Alaska.
Yes,
but
it might be
only the sands
of
time will reveal whether or not it will be a wasted comeback or whether it will be indeed the true comeback of Baked Alaska.
Will 2021 be the Y2 Oba? The year 2 of Baked Alaska.
Indeed, it went very well.
Next
RV7, let's go!
Here we go. JMK, John Michael Kelly. JMK.
He had a lot of wings behind it, a lot of wind behind his wings there. He was soaring. He was the Icarus.
When Biden won, it was his victory. He beat TFO Duck.
He was the people's champ. Well, no, that was
He
his
was the
ultimate
people's
triumph.
champ. He was also exposed for having fisted his own flesh and blood. He fisted his sister, John Michael Kelly, the sister fister.
A sister fister,
But
and
perhaps
on top of it all,
most ashamedly all, he was last exposed for being a fake anime fan. He couldn't even name his three
His highest crime, Gahul.
was
highest crime. Explain to the audience how he was exposed as a fake anime fan.
Well, we were watching JMK was doing his lovely show, and he was railing on PPP because PP was exposing him for the true monster that he was. And we had JMK and PPP on the show together, and we were discussing a variety of things on the show, which eventually led to the most embarrassing revelation of all. That JMK could not even name 3 anime that he liked. Despite having for years having an anime profile picture, had to resort to saying that he liked Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! As his favorite anime.
His favorite animes. Shame.
And he was so ashamed. None of the other things made him ashamed enough to go after this. But that revelation was so shameful, he had to falsely flag PPP's video and do a copyright takedown on him for that. And that, his shame of knowing that everyone would know forever that he was a fake anime fan is what caused him to leave the internet.
Add with JMK that whilst he was riding high for a small period of time, he systematically and bizarrely, it still confounds me to this day, that he individually blocked 2,000 of my Twitter followers.
2,000?
Individually blocked them. he spent an entire day of his life blocking Godwinson fans. And it was at that point that I knew that he'd wasted his comeback.
It was over. Well, then he quit the internet, and then it's like, there's no comeback. He's just gone. Which may be the best thing for him. I wish him all the best in his internet quitting. You know, hopefully he's returned to a normal life away from this mess. I hope that's all the best for him, but that is the real end of JMK's story. For now. But anything can happen again.
To be continued.
Just when you think he's out.
With us since the dark days of Gamergate.
We pull
him
back in.
Gahul, would you like to introduce the person who's going to introduce the winners for us?
Well, we have Crafton. We also have to talk about Movie Bob's comeback as well.
Oh, yes, of course. We've forgotten one nominee, which is Movie Bob, a very special nominee. Gahul, just give us that pressy on Movie Bob's comeback there.
Well, you see, Movie Bob was the man who always lost. He was the quintessential loser through almost all of 2020, and the biggest loss of all was the dunking on by Lindsay Ellis. Lindsay Ellis dunked on Movie Bob so hard, he essentially never recovered. He lost money, most of his fans. It was over for him. His community that he had thought he had built with these other content creators, just nothing. He has nothing left. But then the comeback happens. Lindsay Ellis eventually gets her comeuppance, and the Movie Bob curse strikes. And because of her attack on Movie Bob, she was rightfully penanced by having an angry mob of people descend on her for doing essentially nothing. And that was the Movie Bob comeback. He got his chance. Now, what he did with it, he didn't respond to it. He didn't say anything. He didn't ride that wave. He didn't make any, high-end tweet or video saying, well, Lindsay's, you get what you pay for. No, he just let it happen and did nothing. Continued on as normal. But the Movie Bob curse has been proven to be real. And that is a comeback if I've ever seen one. From a man who could only be shit on to a man who you must fear to shit on. That's a comeback, ladies and gentlemen.
And this is why I think that Movie Bob hasn't really wasted his comeback, really. I think time will tell on Movie Bob.
It's too soon.
His comeback. But at the moment, he really has bounced back from oblivion. I felt so good for Movie Bob in my own heart. I felt he was validated when Lindsay Ellis was taken out for making slight, bizarre, vague, anti-Asian tweets that were construed in such a way that they cancelled her.
That was vile racism.
Nonsensical stuff. It's nonsense that they cancelled her for.
Oh, hold up, Kraut trying to talk. You're muted, Kraut. Kraut, you are
muted, but talking.
I just wanted to ask, who is Movie Bob?
Oh, you
so
don't.
Movie Bob is so Lindsay Ellis is an acquaintance of yours, your best friend. She once upon a time used to either be in the same room as Movie Bob or be a colleague of his or an acquaintance of his, to the point where they shared a photo together. And Movie Bob valued that friendship. He valued the experience they shared. He shared that online, and she said that he was evil, a bastard, an incel, and he should stop this because it's creeping her out. And she essentially cancelled Movie Bob. She made Movie Bob seem like a rapist. Made Movie Bob seem like
I want to bring up one point, because I don't know if you guys are aware of this. They've recently, as in like a day or two ago, unearthed a new tweet where Lindsay refers to Bob in 2018 as her friend. So
she gaslit him, and she gaslit the rest of us by saying, I didn't even know this man, this creep, this stalker.
Well, the reality is, I mean, if you follow this internet critic history, Movie Bob was an internet critic. I think he was doing games and movies and stuff. And he was fairly popular at the time that Lindsay Ellis was first starting off as a nostalgia chick. And guess what? I know for a fact that they went to cons together, and I'm sure those internet critics hung out, at least in some capacity. They might have shared a panel together once or twice. So even if they're not, like, close friends, they're at least business acquaintances at the minimum, right? They're not great friends, but they know each other, and they've interacted with each other in person. So I think Lindsay was just using it as an excuse to get a good free dunk on him, which is petty and not very fun and nice. But you know what? She got her comeuppance in
a really big way, right?
She's ashamed of her roots coming from the muck and mire of autism that is Channel Awesome and the internet movie reviewer community. She doesn't want to be rooted in such a toxic community there.
PPP. She thought she was better than Doug Walker. She thought she was better than Noah Antweiler. She thought she was better. That's why she aborted Spoonie's child. That's why Spoonie's the way he is. Because
you got to remember,
aborted Spoonie's baby, and
it's
all
very
true.
Happens
to the men whose babies you abort.
What you have to remember too is that Lindsay Ellis actually was a beneficiary, of white privilege when she received the nostalgia chick job over that chick with the goggles who was black. She got the position because she was white. I mean, this is the reality. She was a beneficiary of white privilege. We wouldn't know who she is today without the systemic racism that permeated throughout the nostalgia chick contest. And I think that that's important to make known. I really do.
I think you're right, PPP. But
because nowadays that chick with the goggles is a prostitute. She's a literal streetwalker with Backpage hooker ads, and Lindsay is a multimillionaire. What world are we living in? Where I think Lindsay should be forced to give half of her income to that chick with the goggles. Yes! Reparations now, please. We need them.
Well, I do feel bad with that chick with the goggles, and I am a known misogynist, so for me to feel bad for a woman is a serious slight on my part. But she made
the misogynist school.
What a piece of shit you are, Gahul! How dare you?
All right,
come on.
Ashamed of you. Let's get on
with
this.
Let's announce the winner here. We have Kraut here now. Kraut, we will let you know who the winner is by a beautiful sealed envelope delivered by email or physical media. We'll find out, but. To announce the winner, we have Kraut, who is our master of award ceremonies. So, we can all get a drum roll, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now the award for Most Wasted Comeback. Mundane Matt.
Well, thanks to Kraut for coming in. We had to bid him adieu. He must depart for us for now. But we're moving on with the awards, and he will be phoning in live via satellite to give us the award announcements when the time comes. But we must move on to the Mr. Medicare Legacy Award for Most Shameless Grifter. This year's nominees were Nick Rakita, Dick Masterson, and Baked Alaska.
All three very worthy nominees this year. I mean, let's break it down. First of all, you have Nick Rakita, who I think is the defending champion from last year, takes $20 super chats in order to read what you say. But the reason he's nominated this year, he was wearing women's clothing. He was wearing a women's skirt.
He was lying
his hairy
on a bed,
legs exposed, lying on a beanbag chair, surrounded by stuffed animals,
Funko Pops,
and lolly dolls. And he was there in front of his children, dressed like this for money. Very fucking shameful. Their children is seeing their father dressed like an anime schoolgirl. Disgusting.
Terrible.
And the next nominee,
next was Dick Masterson.
What
else can be said?
New Project 2 to be succeeded by New Project Brew. I mean, the man is literally selling coffee We're at a new low, aren't we, with Dick Masterson? This is the newest low. I didn't think he could get even further. This is a grift that makes Coach Redpill blush.
Frankly, I think if he doesn't win, it'll be a complete disgrace overall. Like, he is the greatest grifter of all time. He should be in contention.
Who was our third nominee then, Cahool?
Oh, well, next was obviously Baked Alaska. Thousands of dollars in super chats and his legal defense fund all just wasted for him to end up in jail after he tried to overthrow Biden.
Let's not forget he raised like $25,000 through a Christian website because he's spreading the word of God. He's grifting Christian websites. Good, honest,
we've just got to pray for people. Baked, haven't we? We've just got to pray for Baked.
Pray the Baked
honestly,
away.
All three
pray the Baked away.
Going to hell. They're all going to hell for their
All three of them were completely shameless this year.
Yes. But only one will be the winner. Take it to us now, Mr. Ground.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the Mr. Metica Legacy Award for the most shameless grifter. And the winner is Dick Masterson.
Wow, Dick does it again. What a surprise.
New Project Ruth. What a disaster.
All right. We got to move on, gentlemen. The V Award for Loyalty. The most loyal men on the internet. And the nominees were Gator, Surfer, and Sean.
Well, Shannon is always the perennial favourite. He cleans and sweeps it up for his master. But Surfer has been quite loyal this year. Apart from torpedoing the ear juice takedown and a couple of other things.
Other than that, the knife in the back moment, Surfer's doing all the dishes there. He's taking care of my ass there, cooking the meals for me there, dog. Very loyal fucking man is Surfer. He always comes in to give the hot takes during the cock of the show. Always got my back on that one there. There's Surfer, a very loyal man there. He's
so
very
two very loyal people in Gator and Surfer, and the third nominee was
Sean,
Dick Masterson's loyal Gator. Dick Masterson's V, a man who nonchalantly nods and takes in the pedo takes that his master spews out daily on his Dick show.
Yep.
Nods in agreement with a lot of his master's insane takes, a lot of his master's bizarre definitions over what a mansion is. Dick Masterson.
But, just like last time, only one man can win this. And we got to find out who this is. Let's go back to crowd again. Give us the winner from the V Award for Loyalty.
And now, for the V Award for Loyalty, I don't even need to read this. It is Shannon Gaines, the one and only Gator.
Shannon Gaines!
Fucking Shannon Gaines!
It could only be Shannon Gaines, couldn't it?
The Gator Gamer gets the golden broom yet again.
A perennial winner. What a shock. This many years in a row, how can you pull it off? But we have to move on to the next award. This is a shorty, most irrelevant Killstream co-host. We got Fagmenko, Rand, and Bibble.
And the winner is.
And the winner is.
The winner is.
And now for the award for the most irrelevant Killstream co-host. Fagmenko.
Fagmenko!
Fagmenko!
The most recognition the man has received in decades.
It's the highlight of his whole career.
Anyways, more important things. Scholar of the Year. The most scholarly man on the internet this year. We have 3 nominees, gentlemen. Kraut, Ocean Harrison, and Keith Woods.
Now, Ocean Harrison really is the most big-brained of the female master race, Cahool. You might not have crossed paths with her, but she really is not only a beauty, a goddess, but an enlightened brain, an enlightened person. Isn't that right, PPP?
She is a queen, let me tell you. She is a master scholar when it comes to hair care routines. I've watched
showering.
In her shower videos. Well, she lets us know what is popping in the shower, in the sexy shower videos, dog.
Ooh.
Very sexy shower videos there. You get all fired up. You watch. She knows a lot about dermatology there. Very learned when it comes to dermatology there, guys.
So cool.
I mean, Ocean's a leading contender for Scholar of the Year.
Don't forget that Ocean
157 IQ.
Ocean Harrison last year did an acceptance speech and sent it in. So she is grateful for these awards. She really enjoys having this award on her mantelpiece there.
Well, good.
She surely does.
Well, I'm rooting for her this year then. I don't root for women often, but I'll root for Ocean for this one. But, I mean, Kraut and Keith Woods, Kraut's a perennial favorite on this one. I mean, he's been so good this last year. He's been nothing but high-end scholarly content on his YouTube. He's preventing this award.
He's read a whole total of 4 books this year.
Yeah,
He's
read 4 books, and
how else would we have known about Turkish history and the India politician and why the Russians are all addicted to vodka? How else would we have known this?
We wouldn't have had any insight into any of these things without King Kraut's Kino.
Well, and his meme balls that he draws.
The meme balls, that's highly scholarly.
Highly scholarly.
Do you know that he's actually done research on Native American tribes so that he can get an authentic ball for each tribe so that it's not racist, okay? And that's some high-level scholarship.
There's nothing quite as scholarly as being...
balls are... really putting him at the top of this list so far.
Well, not only that, but I'm not sure if you guys saw, but I saw Wikipedia is using Kraut as an official source now. They are using Kraut's YouTube channel as official historical sources.
As we all know, authoritatively, Trouts can get pregnant. Kraut was correct. And
he is a true scholar.
And of course, we have Keith Woods, who was participated in the Decameron Film Festival this year, giving us his high-level analysis of the film Hypernormalization. It was a really hot and witty take. And he's been breaking down economics on the regular there as Keith Woods.
All right. And the winner is...
And now, for the award for the most scholarly YouTuber, it is Kraut. Well, let me put on my scholarly hat and give you a little acceptance speech. Thank you to the entire Academy of Kino and Nectar. I very much appreciate this great award, and I shall hope to serve you more in the future.
Mr. Kraut!
Well done, congratulations.
For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good
fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. And nobody can deny.
Ah, Mr. Kraut.
Next category.
Let's see here. We got the Lauren Southern Legacy Award for E-Thought of the Year. Now, this is a tough one. We got a couple nominees here. Ocean Harrison, again, Shoe on Head, and Faith Vickers. Now, Shoe on Head has been a dog shit dumpster fire for decades, but Faith Vickers, this year, with the Ralph Sex tape, really propelled herself to the top. Now, I don't know what happened with Ocean Harrison. I'm not an Ocean Harrison expert. I'm no by means a studier of the Ocean Harrison.
Took a shower for us. Cool.
Wow.
Took a shower.
I take a shower every morning. It's not a big deal.
I don't think you understand.
I don't.
Ocean Harrison shower.
Oh, you know what? You're right. It's the ocean shower. It's the ocean waves crashing down around me. That's all I need, right, guys?
She has a high level skincare routine. Okay,
it really is a regimen.
She's not just a basic bitch. Okay, she takes it to a whole new level. Yeah. Okay. In terms of her thought.
See, these other bitches, they down here, but Ocean Harrison, she's way up here. This is sea level, bitch, and this is where they
Shoe on Head tried to make a big push for the award this year, bowing down to Father Vouch, licking his boots, leaking her own nudes, getting catfished by Nazis. This was a big push. She got dumped on her 30th birthday by Armored Skeptic and replaced by an 18-year-old version of herself. So she was down bad this year, but hopefully she will recover. Shoe on Head. And then, of course, we have the other nominee, which was
Faith Vickers.
Faith Vickers, who...
So we've discussed the three of them. Faith Vickers was, thumbed by Ethan Ralph. Everything happened.
There's nothing
with Faith Vickers.
There's nothing quite as hoary as having sex with Ethan Ralph. It's a pretty low standard. I'm surprised that Digibro's girlfriend is on this list as well. Maybe she'll be on here next year. Maybe that's the push next year. They'll have the Even Ralph Sex Tape 2 will come out this year, and that'll be the next big thing. But
so, Gahul, would you like to introduce who is going to announce the winner for this award?
Well, guys, it's Crowd again. He's going to give us the winner of the E-Thought of the Year.
And now for the Lawrence Southern Legacy Award for E-Thought of the Year. Ocean Harrison.
Hey, yo!
What's poppin'? What is poppin'? It's Ocean Harrison's second consecutive Golden Gun victory for E-Thought of the Year. Crazy.
Ocean Harrison.
We love Ocean Harrison.
Absolutely.
Continue to make us shower videos. Please.
Ocean, if you keep up this action next year, you'll be right up there with Lawrence Southern on the award list, okay? 3 times in a row? Come on.
We might have to name the award after you, Ocean.
That might be on your list, Ocean. Just think about it. It's right there waiting for you. You just gotta really whore yourself out this year, and it'll be all yours.
I'm thinking bikini streams.
Waiting. You know, you've got 3
Only
guaranteed
fans.
customers.
Yeah.
All right.
She's gonna watch this and be horrified. You know?
All right, next one.
The Noah Antweiler Award for Critic of the Year. The nominees were the Nostalgia Critic, Lindsay Ellis, and Brad Jones. Now, I think that Nostalgia Critic should win this one, personally. Doug has had the year of his life. After being put down so hard for that wall review, Doug has resurged in popularity throughout the internet. He has rebranded himself as a shitpost fanatic. He hasn't done much, but the world has given him a second chance by rebranding him. I resubscribed to the Nostalgia Critic this year. I thought I would never do that, but I love Doug Walker. I watch Doug
you should
Walker
never have
constantly.
broken faith with Doug.
I shouldn't.
What is wrong with you?
I was down, but Doug brought me back into the fold with how great he is. Now, Lindsay Ellis is a tough one because really she's had one of her worst years ever. She's been canceled. She's been exposed for being a racist against the Asian people. All Asian people. And that alone would be enough to put on this list because, frankly, it was intelligent commentary from her. It was really great content, but, you know, she fucked up. I don't even know how she fucked that up. Like, she didn't even do anything wrong.
Well, nobody knows how she fucked up. This is the thing. Nobody knows just how and why she exactly got cancelled. What was the reason, you know? We don't know.
Sense.
Nobody knows, but we just know that she was cancelled.
She was canceled, and I don't know what the fuck happened, but, you know, the reaction was very entertaining, and the movie Bob Curse was awesome. So that was all her. And then, of course, Brad Jones. I mean, Brad Jones is and was and will always will be the greatest critic from thatguywiththeglasses.com.
Well, I think the Cinema Snob should just win the award by being alive in this current year and not dying. The man has more talent in every single one of his exhalations than he does.
I have purchased
most that do
4 movies from the Cinema Snob, brand new condition.
I've purchased them all as well.
Look at this.
Testament to the Cinema Snob's talent.
Brad Jones has put out 5 feature-length films, including one exclusive to his Patreon, which I do recommend everyone go and check out. Disco is a classic that everyone should watch.
Have you seen Disco, Gahul?
I have to watch it. I've got to watch it this week.
Fuck, you gotta watch it.
Here we go. So Gahul has a night of Kino after we finished the Golden Gunts
Look at
Awards
this.
with Disco.
This is what Brad Jones puts out.
That is a man's filmography.
In one hand.
It's not rivaled by anyone. Scorsese, I mean, throw those works in the bin. Kubrick, just throw your works in the bin. Brad Jones is here with a filmography that is just
back
amazing.
on his feet. So after he got cut by Jake, Brad is back and he's whooping some ass. Gonna binge watch every Netflix show. Midnight screenings.
Paranoia is his best film, by the way.
Oh fuck!
Anyway,
he's rising
up. The winner is.
And now for the Noah Antweiler Legacy Award for Critic of the Year. And the winner is Cinema Snob.
Brad! Yeah! Fuck yes! Brad! Yes! Congrats, Cinema Snob. Good job.
Congratulations, Cinema Snob.
Life Coach of the Year. The nominees are Gonzalo Lira, Coach Black Pill, and Tonka Saw.
No, it's so ridiculous. So Coach Black Pill rates people's faces. He is the walking definition of a black pill. I think he's about 2 seconds away from suicide and jumping off a bridge. He always gives me that vibe. But he's quite a jolly gentleman, isn't he? He's always in our chats. He's probably even watching this right now. And
he is watching it right now. He's currently trying to de-radicalize political extremists by letting them know it's not over, which is very ironic for Coach Black Pill.
Coach Black Pill. Yeah.
He should be more Black Pill. Now, Coach Black Pill, is interesting you bring up the lines on the faces thing, because that's a tried and true TV classic here. We had a guy on our board who would find out if women were transsexual or not by drawing green lines on them, and that is a tried and true practice, so I'm glad someone else has adopted that for the modern age. Now, Coach, perhaps we should also give a good pose for Coach Blackbill so he can rate all our faces quick, boys. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Excellent stuff, boys, there. So, Coach, if you're watching, we love you, bro. You know, keep up the good work. And then, of course, the perennial favorite, Coach Red Pill, Gonzalo Lira. We've already talked about him to begin with. The most base boomer. He won that award already. And really,
he just has these life lessons that guide us through. I don't know where I'd be without referencing Coach, without thinking of Coach in every single one of the predicaments I find myself in daily life. He's Coach Red Pill. He's Gonzalo Lira, prophet and king.
Well, I got to give credit to Coach Red Pill because just last week I made a very popular video about the supply shortages coming in this world. And you know who called that first? Coach Red Pill. He was thinking ahead. He called the food shortage first. So if you aren't investing in dry goods and food, you should now. Because guess what? When it runs out, Coach Red Pill will be rolling in the pussy and rolling in the dry baked beans. And you will have nothing. And that's a fact.
And our final nominee is Tonka Saw. Now, some people might scoff at him being a life coach and say, what do you mean? Tonka's never claimed to be that. He doesn't seem to be that. Look, the miserable failure in its totality that is Tonka Saw's life is a life coaching in and of itself to not emulate a man with AIDS in a wheelchair in a trailer park and to strive for greater things. So on that basis, he has been nominated for Life Coach of the Year.
But who will win?
Is the winner.
Let's go to Kraut.
And now for the winner of the award for Life Coach of the Year. Tonka Saw.
Donga Tribe! Donga Tribe wins Golden Gunts.
Big Super Berry Donga Tribe. Golden Gunts Tribe. Arr.
Well, now, guys, we have to move on to a very special award, the Lifetime Achievement Award. And now God has prepared a very special video package for us, and we'd like to play that out now.
Violent depictions of women being beaten, raped, and run over by cars. It's not the movies, it's video games.
Cast your minds back now a few decades. There was a seismic, game-changing event. This was known as Gamergate. This movement led to a complete change of civilization as we know it. This was people like Mundane Matt and Sargon and Jeff Holiday and Bearing rising up and saying, look, the video games are ours. You've come for everything else. We've sheltered in our basements with our heads in the sand like ostriches all this time, and now you finally come for our video games, and now we're becoming politically aware, and now we're saying no. The video games are ours. Leave them alone. Who were after them? Who was it that was trying to take Sargon's video games? That was trying to take Jim's video games away from him? Try and sully them? Try and bastardize them? It was women. The females.
The great thing about Pepe is
Pepe the Green Frog for people who don't. Imagine anyone watching this doesn't know.
The great thing is it's almost like the life cycle of the meme, where it starts with I think.
And whilst this initial ethos of taking the filth, taking the sewage out of journalism, made the sapling grow into a giant Gamergate tree. Eventually, the tree would become infested. The tree would become not fit for purpose. Because those that professed the Gamergate ideals, those that professed ethics in video games journalism, they themselves became the filthiest of all of us. They grifted their shekels. Even Jim ransacked the temple.
So realistically, I'm done. The channel's shut down. I'll pop up maybe in 6 or 7 months. None of you are going to remember what I sound like. You're probably not going to find the channel. That's just how I'd prefer it. I didn't like a large audience. And to be frank with you, the whole Gamergate thing is depressing. It was the opportunity to finally kick the teeth in of social justice warriors and Tumblrettes and draw a fucking line in the sand and push back against all these hypersensitive cunts. And for a while it was working really, really well.
But there was one person who wasn't a fur fag like Leo the Snake. There was one person who was pure, who had God in his heart, who still kept Gamergate going even when it had been disowned, abandoned by all and sundry who claimed to be a part of it once upon a time. And this is the Lifetime Achievement Award for one special man, one soldier still out there right now on the front lines. That man, that king, is John Michael Kelly. This, John, is your life.
For Anita Sarkeesian, this is the new normal. Armed escorts at public events, tracking her every move.
I'm constantly aware of the fact that there's an enormous amount of hate directed towards me.
Hate in the form of bomb threats, rape threats, even death threats.
Instantly they dived in to find where she lives, find where all these people live, what are we going to do about her, can we hack her email, like instantly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, all right? I just...
No, there's no apologizing needed. Just stop being a piece of shit.
Then how do I do that? Just tell me, please.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe fucking listen to every person that tells you you're an idiot and ask them why they think that and actually take that into consideration.
I do take that into consideration.
No, you don't, though. Because you don't fucking change,
I really do.
John.
No, you don't understand, please. It's like...
Obviously, we've had a breakthrough here. Maybe you should go to bed, ruminate, and think about your life.
I'm not leaving. I'm not doing that. Just please tell me what I can do to be better.
To be better?
Okay.
Try to do something with your fucking life.
Fine. Just I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really am. I just...
If you need... Look, no, you're not sorry. But you are sorry.
Just please stop it.
Please stop what, John?
Please.
Telling you the truth?
John Michael Kelly. I'm here taking what I used to consider to be a steaming Nora. Oh, but John, in your honor, John, for your lifetime achievement, John, I think I'm gonna rename it a Floatin' John. It's a Floatin' John for John Michael Kelly.
Kino of the year. Nominees are Gahul's movie Weekend at Gahul's, Godwinson's Groiper Files, and the Coach Red Pill anime.
I'll just say a quick thing about the Coach Red Pill anime. I thought it was really well put together. I forget who even made this now. Who was it?
SBG Productions, I think it was something like that.
Okay. So it was that guy, but he really put together a good multi-part documentary on Coach Red Pill, charting his antics, charting stuff that even I wasn't aware of. I thought it was really good, really well put together, and he definitely deserves this nomination.
Let me bring up the merits of Godwinson's Groiper Files. It was a tremendous series put together by Godwinson where he followed the money. He traced it through who was funding Fuentes. Was it the Mercers? Was it the federal government? He blew out Based Mummy Michelle for the filthy gook that she is. Based Mummy Michelle was exposed and named. He was exposed as a filthy gook. And it was an incredible series where
Monday
Godwinson
Matt's
assumed
clutching
his
pearls now
role.
in the chat here. He's just
He assumed his role as King of Wignats in that series. So that's why it's been nominated for Kino of the Year. And let me speak quickly so that Gahul doesn't need to praise himself for Weekend at Gahul.
I mean, I can.
Let's talk about Weekend at Gahul's.
I just want to say, PPP, that I've never bore witness to such a pile of crap in my life.
Hey! Bullshit, motherfucker. Explain to us the opening sequence. What was that musical track? Because it was fucking Kino. It was lit as fuck. The opening sequence as we go through St. Cloud, Minnesota, and we just see the reality of white working class life
that Gahul lives in, like a ghetto.
It is a third world country. It's
like white poverty. This was white poverty put on display, and then it was contrasted by the internet decadence of Gahul's home, the various action figures, the various petty bourgeoisie aspects of Gahul's life were put on display. Many inside jokes and references to the TV Chan website, reminiscent of such Kino classics as Kick-Assia, Suburban Nights. The performance from Gahul was fantastic. The performance from Blissfag was off the charts. He was really simping for Alexa Bliss hard. And of course, the Truth Seeker, he had a good turn in as well. The film overall was a masterpiece of Kino. That's why it's up for Kino of the Year.
Well, if my blood, sweat, and tears went into this movie, it was truly an amazing experience, but I don't want to wax lyrical. And if you want to hear my thoughts on the movie, you should buy my DVD copy of it, where I will include my director's commentary, motherfucker!
This isn't fucking happening. There isn't a DVD copy, is there, Gahul?
I'm making DVDs, yeah.
It's 30 minutes long, Gahul. What a
I'm putting the two fights on there, too.
It's like the 200 MB file. Like, fuck off.
What a piece of shit.
I'm putting the first two fights on there with commentary as well. So you're getting director's commentary.
The commentary track.
You're just getting these YouTube videos posted on a disc. What a
That's right!
This is like back in the day of Irate Gamer level scam. Like,
it is a scam, bro.
Some Irate Gamer level shit.
Now, I'll send you guys both free copies.
The winner of this category, who was it? Let's go to Mr. Kraut.
Yes, Kraut.
And now, the moment you all have been waiting for, the award for Kino of the Year. Gahul's movie.
Wow, Gahul! He got it! Gahul! Acceptance speech, quick!
Well
quick
done.
Yes, I want to thank the Academy of Kino Nectar for this glorious award. I'd like to thank my production assistants, my good friend Adam, all the people who appeared and acted in the movie, all the people on TV Chan who helped me out, all the 5 people who watched the premiere live. It was a great movie. I want to thank everyone watching home and encourage, if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it now. It is truly the Kino of the Year and one of my proudest accomplishments of all time. And if you loved it, don't worry, because next year, the TV Chan Anniversary Movie 2 will be coming out. So look forward to that then.
All right, it's time for the next award.
We have the Best Debate Award. The nominees this year were PPP versus Dick Masterson, Kraut versus Vaush, Halsey versus Captain Tazariel, and Chaggett versus Godwinson and PPP.
I just want to say a few words on Kraut versus Vaush. This was a masterful performance from Kraut. He goes in, he confesses his sins to Father Vaush. He completely wrong-foots Vaush instantly. Vaush is on the back foot. Vaush doesn't quite know what to do, apart from mock Kraut, attempt to mock and imitate his accent. Well, as we all know, imitation is the best form of flattery, and Kraut knows that. And Kraut takes and bats away all Vaush's attempts at appeasement. And he goes, "No, fat boy. No, fat boy, no. Dance for me, fat boy." It's
Dance for me.
Magnum opus. It's his brilliance put on full display here. Vaush wasn't quite aware, I don't think, of just how brilliant Kraut was. We're aware of it in this sphere. We know Kraut, where he's a member of the Kino crew, but Vaush and his audience and the bread tube and Sanos, they fully experienced Kraut there. And anyone that said that Kraut took an L on that is mentally ill.
No.
Indeed.
There's
Let
no
me
way.
speak to the valor of Captain Tazariak and Halsey on who was the true Jew. This was the debate topic. Now, Halsey is the stereotypical Jew that you would expect to be claiming to be a Jew, whereas Captain Tazariak is black. And what was amazing is Halsey would attempt to make logical, reasoned arguments as to why he was a Jew, but these would be promptly obliterated by the dynamic, charismatic presence of Captain Tazariak, who exposed Halsey as being a pretender and once and for all firmly established that the blacks was the real Jews. That was an incredible fucking performance. Classic comedic performance. The best kill stream of the year by far. It was the redemption moment for the kill stream, indeed.
Wow. Well, I guess we should go into Chagrin versus Godwinson and PPP. Truly masterful stream. Great debate between you two. You just eviscerated him. And we don't want to go take too long because this is running long already. So we'll also talk about PPP versus Dick Masterson, which is one of the greatest moments of last year, was PPP going in and just stomping on Dick Masterson's head over and over.
It was such a game-changing moment because prior to then, it almost just seemed as though they were ignoring us. They knew we were there, but they refused to talk. And then they were kind of winning in that sense. If they didn't engage, then we didn't exist. And then suddenly all of the scripts and all of the things we were planning just snapped into one big arc. I mean, it was really good. It was a game changer. It's a
game-changing moment. It led to Dick Masterson being considered a lolcow on the internet. It led to a big showdown with Janny Jim, who unfortunately swept up the new Project 2 conspiracy with his janitorial abilities. But it really changed things. Ralph, lost every shred of credibility he had. After that point, new Project 2 died in the wake of that debate.
Well, and Josh lost $2,000 a month, didn't he?
Josh lost $2,000 a month. Josh disavowed Dick Masterson following this. Josh had to do a 180 on everything. It was a big game-changing moment from last year. And if I hadn't had 12 beers going in, it probably wouldn't have taken place. And the magic, it's hard to replicate, folks. We've seen me in debates since then. Will we ever get that magic again? Who knows? It's starting to become May. Maybe the lightning will be in a bottle a second time.
12 bottles, maybe.
And the winner is...
And now, for the winner of the award for Best Debate. And the winner is... PPP versus Dick Masterson.
Oh, PPP! You did it! Speech! Give us the speech, bro! Give us the speech, bro!
Well done for changing the tide, for setting a new agenda, for turning 2020 and truly into your year. Well done.
My fellow ambassadors of Kino and Nectar, I would like to thank the Academy of Kino and Nectar throughout all known time in the multiverse for this honor. This is the highest achievement of my life. It will never get better than this for me as a 400-pound autistic man on the internet. Getting to dunk on a Mexican Jew and a slimy Jew lawyer is truly a highlight, and to be recognized on this stage as having orchestrated the greatest debate of all of 2020 through my sheer charisma and talent alone, I am humbled and honored by this achievement. Thank you so much to the Academy.
Next cast.
Wow. Next is the Morning Kumite Tombstone Award for Most Boring Show. The nominees are...
By the way, these nominees are just truly dreadful. I wouldn't recommend anyone even watch a scintilla of seconds to try and get what we're talking about. Just take our word for it. They're shit, folks.
The nominees were The Kill Stream, $3 Theater, Hey Oz, and The Dick Show.
So we're really circling the drain here, aren't we? We've got He Jess, $3 Theater, Jarbo's grift machine.
Before we go into this, $3 Theater, I just want everyone to know The Rock's movie production company is called $7 Productions. So Jarbo stole his channel's name from The Rock. I just want everyone to know and acknowledge that.
Jarbo stole it because he thinks he can do it better, because he treats The Rock with such disrespect, quite frankly.
There's no reason for this. And
it's just
if you
irrational hatred.
I spent about 2 hours watching Three Buck Theater last night trying to get Jarbo to respond to me. And if there's anything I can say about the show, frankly, if I want to listen to two white nerds complain about fucking awful cape shit movies, I'd go down to the comic book shop, bro. I don't need to go to your fucking YouTube channel to watch this shit. At least then I can participate instead of having to listen and you not respond to me, Matt. How about you take some audience participation every now and then, huh? Just thinking about that a little.
And then we obviously had Hejas, fronted by Snake Juice.
What is there to say about this show? I mean, it is dead air personified.
No.
I mean, not only is there tons of literal dead air on this show, but when they do speak, it's about nothing of value or worth. They don't seem to know how to present the show in any sort of coherent fashion. Anything that might be interesting is buried 3 to 4 hours into the show where no one will ever find it. And it's just shit. Earjuice was never meant to be an on-air personality. He is a 45-year-old man who is now a confirmed lol cow who got catfished by an internet girlfriend. He's mooing for me. He's mooing me.
Let's keep this moving. Killstream, the worst show ever, and the Dick Show.
The
Killstream, to be honest, has been a few good highlights this year. There has been a few highlights this year. Ralph's really been working overtime to try and get eyes on his show, and it's kind of worked here and there. Whenever there's been a big upset in the Ralph world, people have been watching his show and giving him money, I suppose. It's probably the best of the worst here on this category.
He's had highlights that none of the others have had, like actual interesting debates.
Yeah, he's actually had a show in many ways, do you know?
Yeah, but the issue is day to day, his show is very sanitized and boring. Tucker Carlson clips out the ass. Gator fucking piss cold takes. Just fucking garbage most days. But the odd time he does put on a decent show. Whereas like the Dick Show, which is our last nominee, I mean, it's just Dick going, Sean, the dildo machine, Sean. I get so much pussy,
terrible,
Sean.
I realize
Sean. It's going to the moon, Sean.
He has this like boomer audience that he stole from Maddox, and they must listen to it in their cars or in their retirement homes. But it's unlistenable. It really is terrible. I think the only time people watch it is when Ralph goes on because he's got a face cam on there, and that was the only reason why people watched it. And now Ralph is face camming now, so no one's even. It's a scam, isn't it? Nobody's really donating to that Patreon. It's all being laundered.
It's money laundering for Dick.
It's just appalling.
There's
Who's
no
listening
actual
to that show he's on every Wednesday, every Tuesday,
Sunday. Who fucking
Sunday?
knows?
Who cares?
Fuck that! I'm not watching this shit. But you know what? I am gonna watch. I am gonna watch Crowd announce the winner of this award.
And now for the Morning Committee Tombstone Award for most boring show, and the winner is Hejas. Move for me.
Wow, it's huge ass. Huge ass wins. Huge ass.
Boring and
Chaos wins. Hey, say pass me the Chaos. You like the Raiders say my Corona Chaos. Alright, fuck this. T-Clips Award for being a pathetic parasite. Now this award is named after the great T-Clips, the most pathetic parasite to ever walk the earth. Not only are they a money-grubbing, paywalling piece of shit, but they're also a woman, and nothing on the internet is worse than being a woman. Except if you're these three nominees. Matthew Jarbo, Toad McJudas, and Cecil McFly.
Now, McJudas, I mean, the monthly Chantel was a new low even for him, right? I didn't think, quite frankly, that he would stoop as low as a monthly Chantel, which was such a transparent and blatant grift, which was just so transparently shameless in him stooping in the gutter and just picking up the pennies, not even wiping them down as he puts them in his pocket. It was appalling. I mean, who wants to see who's waiting for the monthly Chantel? Who even wants the daily, minutely, yearly Chantel?
What
it was a grift.
Was Toad McJudas, who pretended to be one of the cool kids on the internet, selling out everything he held near and dear to himself to try and chase a Kiwi Farms audience of 45-year-old fat women, is what it was. It was pathetic and shameless, and he was so embarrassed by our criticism of it that he discontinued the show. And it was wildly popular amongst middle-aged women, but he was shamed. He was named and shamed as McJudas, who took the 26 pieces of silver, not even 30 pieces of silver, lower than the actual Judas who delivered Christ to the Pharisees. He's lower than that. He crucified Kino, is what Toad McJudas did with the monthly Chantel, and he should forever be named in shame as McJudas. Okay, that's just the truth.
And his accomplice, his partner in cahoots, as it were, his partner in crime, is Cecil McFly, the man, the trans woman.
Tranny.
And has stooped so low as to review 15-year-old episodes of Kitchen Nightmares. But get this.
What?
It bleeps out the swear words for monetization.
Oh, fuck off. It's so
it really is that.
It's not pathetic. We're chasing the algorithm.
Are you kidding me? My God.
We're chasing the algorithm to that extent.
It
that
really is. It's gotten to the point now where, yeah. And then our third one was
Matthew Jarbo, who he's been the star of this year show this year.
When we think of shameless grifter, I mean, in the dictionary itself,
pops into your head
is
right away
that Jarbo, the Boulder King, grifting for shekels, crying over copy pasta letters.
He was crying about how he was getting copyright strikes for using leaked footage of Justice League before the movie was even out. He was using leaked footage on his channel. It got taken down. And this guy was the biggest supporter of Zack Snyder's Justice League there could have been, its biggest champion. And here he is parasiting off the film and complaining when he gets his wrist slapped for it. Oh no, I have a right to use that make money. It was fucking disgusting. And there he is soliciting donations this year from furries. The only fans of Jarbo. Anytime you tune into Boulder Talk, you got like 2-3 fucking furries in full-on fursuit regalia telling us tales of yiffing with Jarbo. What is this?
Shit show.
Well, I broke a story just a couple days ago on my channel. I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but it is a fact now that I discovered. I have been researching this for a fact, but Matthew Jarbo is putting plant super chat donations into his chat to encourage other people to donate as well. There was a man who donated over $300 to Matthew Jarbo one day on a super chat basis. You want to know where that man was from? According to his YouTube bio, which was a very suspicious-looking YouTube bio, he was from Plant City, Florida. This man is literally putting plants in to get people to give you his money, to make him think that he's more successful than he actually is. Funneling money through his channels. How scandalous.
It's the new Watergate, folks.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the T-Clips Award for being a pathetic parasite. And the winner is Toad McKinley.
Toad did it again! Fucking Toad!
McJudas! He doesn't even deserve applause.
26 pieces of silver.
I spit on Toad McJudas. Spit on him. Shame. Shame, Toad. Shame.
Shame.
And I know he's watching, and you should be ashamed, motherfucker.
Next is the best OBS slave, with nominees Hemi, Kraut, and Brian. And I think we should give these guys...
always been ready and able to do the OBS, but he's... I don't know, his technical talent...
He's always vaping into the mic, for one.
Well,
the audio's always
the audio levels are always shit when Kraut does the OBS. I mean, whilst he's willing, whilst he's always able, he's just not competent enough. Brian, he was competent. He was absolutely fine. He might have been the best OBS slave we had.
Well, other than trying to solicit my penis and your penis.
And that's the only downside. You know, every show he did, he'd come on the show, he'd dance around with us. He did a really good job.
But when it went to literally trying to suck one's penis, instead it's okay to metaphorically suck my penis, but I like that, but not literal sucking.
I mean, begging for outlines and shapes, and it just crossed the line, Brian. Now, Perspicuity might enjoy that, Brian. And then the next one was Hemi. Hemi's been really good. Hemi taught us the secrets of OBS that not even Kraut had imparted to us. Like, he actually uses the OBS browser. The only problem, I think, with Hemi was the lag. The awful, terrible lag. he experienced on that.
That's true. Well, guys, let's not lag behind here and get right to the winners. Kraut, take it away.
And now, for the award for Best OBS Slave. And the winner is Hemi.
Well done, Hemi. Bravo.
PP not even acknowledging Hemi.
What a piece of shit, PP.
Treating the OBS slaves as they should be. Slaves. Do the work harder. Now we have a big award. One of the awards everyone's been looking forward to. One of the most important awards of this year. The Chris Cantwell Award for Most Effective Federal Agent. And the nominees are Milo Yiannopoulos, Mama JF, and Nick Fuentes.
Well, Nick Fuentes, I mean, he's had his bank account frozen, no fly list. He really has, I don't know, he's been powerful and effective as a federal informant, but it's almost so obvious that he is a federal informant that, does this negate his effectiveness?
Does that negate his effectiveness? I would say no, because the audience is so stupid. The Groypers, these children, are actually so naive and retarded that they actually think it's cool. They actually believe that it's ironic, even though his assets are being frozen. So he's actually makes him more effective somehow. It's fucking baffling. I feel like I'm Nancy Pelosi trying to nail Trump, Chuck Schumer. How can Nick keep getting away with it? Well, when his fans are all retarded 13-year-olds, there's nothing I can do for you. You're retarded and you're 13. Fuck, come back when your balls drop or you grow some pubes, son.
Wow.
And of course, our most confounding federal asset on this list is Mama JF. I mean, she is a plant. She has been almost sleeper agent placed into the homestead of JF. Any instant she could snap, twist the neck of JF, lay him in cuffs, bring him to justice, take him straight to the door of Nancy Pelosi so he can be beheaded. I mean, Mama JF really is an effective federal asset, to the point where no one would even believe that she was a Fed, but we've seen the documents.
We know the truth.
We've seen the documents.
She has infiltrated JF Garapi's child sex trafficking ring. We've heard from her own mouth how JF was going to hire sex slaves to work his farm. Mama JF is uncovering all this info of the secret brain surgeries that JF is doing on kidnapped victims that have gone missing in the Montreal area. There's been secret surgeries to put the brains of white people into blacks so that they can become a master race, both physically and mentally. And Mama JF is blowing the cover on all of this stuff. So she needs to be considered. She's very effective.
And then, of course, finally we have Milo. I mean, come on. Started the Gamergate, created the 8chan movement, which eventually led to the insurrection. If you want to corral an entire opposition party into being an illegal group of people, how else can you do it but through Milo Yiannopoulos? Really?
And now he's running these conversion camps and pretending to be a heterosexual man. It's a crazy, weird, bizarre LARP that the feds are sending him on, but you can't deny that he's not effective.
He's very effective. Well, we must find out who was the most effective this year and who is effectively the winner. So Kraut, take it away.
I'm going to make something special here. Okay. And now for the Chris Cantwell Award for Best Federal Agent. And the winner is Mama JF.
All right, there.
Next category.
Most disgusting nude reveal. The nominees are Ethan Ralph, Shoe on Head, and Fausch.
And the winner is...
And now for the award for Best Nude Reveal, Ethan the Gunt Ralph.
What a not even a shock. That glorious gunt, the micro penis, the thumbing. What else can be said? What a year Ethan Ralph has. The year of the gunt. Yoga.
Year of the gun.
Next
category.
Mr. Gahool.
The JF Legacy Award for Most Disturbing Exploitation of a Mentally Ill Person. Baked exploiting Sammy, PPP exploiting JMK, and Chaggett's dad exploiting Chaggett. Well, Chaggett's dad literally sells a book about how much of an autistic faggot
The guy
Chaggett
does
is.
TED Talks on him. He's literally monetized every aspect of his son's autism. It truly is exploitation in its purest.
In the most literal definition of the word, it is exploitation.
Is it truly exploitation, though, when your son is such a huge faggot failure? You're just trying to recoup some of the losses of him being your son? Because that's what he's trying to do. He's just trying to make a little bit of the money back that was wasted, having to raise this waste of life.
I don't know. Had he have raised a good son to begin with, had he have been a proper parent, then he wouldn't be the way he is. I mean, Chaggett is purely a product of his terrible,
but it was his
upbringing.
genetics. He was born with autism, right? There was nothing he could do.
He's got autism. The guy hasn't got autism.
That's true. Yeah, he doesn't actually have it. He's just been gaslit by his retarded father. It was terrible exploitation. And by the way, it was fucked he didn't let him go on the Disney cruise. You know, your 12-year-old son, you put him in a mental hospital instead of let him go to the Disney cruise. Put him in jail!
Yeah.
And then we had Baked and Sammy.
The romance of the ages.
Yeah.
What a time.
And the winner is...
Mesdames et Messieurs, and now the Jean-François Garipier Legacy Award for exploiting a mentally disabled person. And the award goes to Chaggett's dad exploiting Chaggett.
Chaggett!
Wow,
Chaggett's
Chaggett's
dad.
dad. What a piece of shit you are, Chaggett's dad, you fucking bastard. Fuck you.
Next, we have the Best Cult Award. And the nominees are The Bears, QAnon, and The Groypers.
And the winner is...
And now for the award for Best Cult. And the winner is The Groypers.
Groypers! The Groypers did it!
Groypers!
Groyper!
Yeah.
Groyper! Groyper!
Groyper! I'm the Groyper! Failed IRL event of the year. AF Pack 2. Bake's RV trip and office visit. Ralph's Transon family fight and Dax's Florida event.
And the winner is...
And now for the award for Best Failed Event. And the winner is AF Pack 2.
AF Pack 2!
Louis Theroux's documentary. You can watch all of AF Pack 2.
Yes.
What, on
Fact.
Netflix? iPlayer for the rest of time?
The next award is the award for Best Father. And the nominees are Ethan Ralph, Mr. Vickers, and Mundane Matt.
Well, this award, we should briefly make mention of each of these man's claims to be Father of the Year. First of all, we have Mr. Vickers. And Mr. Vickers basically ruined his daughter's life this year. Isn't that right, Godwinson?
I think he helped his daughter in more ways than one. He truly showed all of us what a great father, what a caring father, what a great man, a pillar of the community he actually is. He truly helped his daughter, into the arms of Ethan Ralph and then rescued her from Ethan Ralph. He was, I don't know, he's going to be a great grandfather as well. He's going to be an absolutely outstanding grandfather. Mr. Vickers, Matt Vickers.
We have Ethan Ralph, the father to Xander. So his son is going to be named after his arch enemy. There is a sex tape of his own son's
conception.
And he thumbed his son's mother on video camera. Father of the Year material, folks. He licked. Let's never forget. Not only did he sniff the shit,
people forget that he actually licked it, don't they? People forget that he sucked the thumb.
Even lick it. He sucked the shit.
Even when we did the review, didn't we? And we you could hear him suck the thumb, but no, people just think he huffed it. Like, what the fuck? You just watch it and you see it.
There's a huff And then there's
a suck.
And then there's
a suck. The suck sound.
Disgusting.
How did that get forgotten?
Shit.
How did that get memory holes?
I feel when this
Streisand effect here.
and
No,
then
not the Mandela effect, even.
God, it's fucked. Well, I feel bad for the child. That's all I can say. But Monday,
Yeah, I mean, there's children I feel worse for, and that's Jarbo's kids. That aren't even his. They don't even call him Dad. They call him Matt, or even Jarbo, like we do. They have that much respect for him.
Listen, if he was truly a father to them, even if he is their dad or not their dad, besides the point, he is not a father to them because he spends all his day arguing about movies on the internet, arguing about bad cape shit movies on the internet with people instead of taking care of his children. Matt, you're 30 plus, you're almost in your 40s. It's time to hang up the coats, ride off into the sunset, and just be a good father. Maybe think about that. But this award could go to you, and no one could deny that you're the best father then. Kraut, give us who the award winner is.
And now the award for Father of the Year. And the winner, probably no doubt, is Mr. Vickers.
Well done, Mr. Vickers. It was a pleasure to talk to you earlier this year. It was a pleasure to allow your family to heal.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to make your family the focus of an internet soap opera. Bless you, Mr. Vickers, Father of the Year. Bless you.
Father. Next, we have the Leo Pirate Award for being a snake. The nominees were Mr. Deadman, Patrick Casey, Ear Juice, and Full Fag Forever.
And the winner is...
And now the Leo Pirate Award for being a snake. And the winner is Patrick Casey.
Patrick Casey! Congratulations!
Slithery, slimy snake.
You know,
Patrick
you snaked
Casey.
on Fuentes, but you didn't snake on the people who supported you, and that's what matters, Patrick. You were looking out for him, and you spotted the Fed a mile away, so thank you, Patrick. From one Patrick to another. Good job, Casey. But next, we have the Ice Poseidon 2 award for best whatever this fucking award is for. I don't remember.
Hey, this is the Ice Poseidon 2 award for Content King. We've got fucking Stop Speeding, who got into a dumpster last week, pissed in the fucking dumpster while he was drinking rum from the fucking bottle. And after he pissed on everything in the dumpster, he ate the fucking donuts and the popcorn out of the fucking dumpster that was in there that he pissed all over, and he's washing it down with rum. You've got fucking Alice, who got her head bashed in with a fucking rock, and her face looked like a fucking alien. It was fucked. Who else is on this fucking list?
Smooth Sanchez.
Smooth Sanchez. He got arrested twice this year, once for pepper spraying people off the Brooklyn Bridge, and the second time this week for announcing a bomb threat and saying Allahu Akbar. He's now considered an incel terrorist. Ice Poseidon 2 shit is crazy.
Whoa.
Who's winning the award?
It truly is.
Let's find out.
And now for the Ice Poseidon 2 award for Content King. And the winner is Stop Speeding for eating from a dumpster.
Stop speeding for pissing in the dumpster and eating the best.
The dumpster of a man.
Yeah.
What a disaster.
Well, yeah.
All right, gentlemen, I've time to really kick into high gear as we get down to the last couple of awards here, because we have a very special award to me and many others. The Best Site Admin Award for managing the best website on our corner of the internet. And the nominees are Gahul, Josh, Connor Moon, Robbie, and Mark Mann.
So these are the best site administrators. Who's doing their job most effectively? Who's really curating an environment, a website that people enjoy going to, people enjoy clicking on and living in and being a member of?
Yes. Now, Godwinson, let's let the people know, because we got to explain to the people what's going on here, because they're all stupid and they don't get anything. What do these people's sites do they run? Gahul, that's me, for all you people who don't know. I run a site called TV Chant. That's my site. Josh O'Connor Moon runs the Kiwi Farms. Robbie runs Cow and the Gun Retort, A-Log, Space, whatever, Julia World. Whatever name it's going by this week, because he's losing, hosts left and right. And of course, Mark Mann runs 8chan.moe, his V board. He is the king of E, the kike himself. Mark Mann, star of the QAnon documentary. Frankly, he was the breakout star of that documentary there. So those are the people we're dealing with.
Truly is the star of this show. Who deserves this award? Mr. Kraut, take it away.
And now for the award for Best Site Admin. And the winner is Gahul, King of Incels.
Gahul, acceptance speech, sir.
Thank you, everyone. I just want to thank every single member of TV Chan for keeping this place going. I know for a fact that if I was anything less than the best, then my site would die a horrible death. But because I'm the best, the site continues to exist. And I want to remind everyone to not come to my website and to leave us the fuck alone. Please, I'm begging you. I enjoy my site and its posters, and I don't want you shitting it up. So, thanks, everyone.
It truly is, though, the best site that we nominated. You know, it was my first pick, and it really was. It's a really well-deserved prize.
Well, it's put together.
I thought it should have went to Mark Mann.
I think Mark deserves it. Mark deserves it. Well, I think I'm the only one not running a fucking LinksChan instance, so that's a big benefit to me. Anyone using LinksChan is a retard. But I think Robbie would have won it, but the reality is he's changing his domain left and right. He's got a lot of shit going on, but we'll see next year, Robbie.
PPP wouldn't allow Robbie to win the award. Didn't you wanted a category for, what was it, the Gunstream Trannies?
Yeah, Gunstream Tranny of the Year. I think it was going to go to Molly Berry.
You've just got to
Molly Berry!
Zach Fag is the big dog there, PPP.
No, Zach Fag's done. His relevance is gone. Zach Fag has nothing left. What does he have left? He doesn't even have a stream. What does he have left? Oh, who knows? Maybe he's still a Janny on town.
He's my bitch, is what he's my little bitch who I get to do stuff for me. That's all he's got left. You heard it here, Zach. You got a problem with that? You can come take it. But I just want to, again, thank the Academy for my win. Thank the other sites for trying, and I want to thank the TV Chan posters, because without you, it wouldn't have worked. And I know I have to check the report quickly. I know someone's spamming the board. I'll get to it in about 10 minutes. Don't worry.
He's got a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, Gahul, but we're so blessed to have him here with us, presenting the Golden Gunts here tonight.
Yes. Next, we have a very important award, and I do want to go into these a little bit. We won't take too long, but it's the worst take of the year.
Yeah. Now, these are incredibly terrible, these takes. These
abhorrent!
These are some
these
shit
will make
takes.
your mind ache in terms of their incredulity with these takes. Awful
now,
take.
I think we're going to go... Let's start with the first one here, which I think is the least offensive in terms of what its content is talking about, but I think is the worst logical conclusion you could possibly come to from any of these. And that is Jarbo's take that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is not a movie star.
Born purely out of pathological hatred to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Born purely because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson must have brushed past Matt at the movie theater.
Well, I think it's...
drop his popcorn there. I mean, what on earth is this pathological
the truth
hatred
is,
born out of?
I think Matt grew up in the early 2000s. I think some guy in a wrestling t-shirt pushed him around too much in high school and middle school, and he's never forgiven him for that. And he's never forgiven wrestling for that either. And so he thinks anything that comes out of pro wrestling must be dog shit. Little does he know that for most people in the world, people don't know The Rock for being a pro wrestler. They know him for being a star in movies, which is an obvious fact of
for
life.
being the highest paid actor in the entire world.
3 years in a row! 3 years in a row has a star on the Walk of Fame.
He's not a movie star. You put The Rock in a movie, it's just going to bomb. He's not going to make any money for that movie.
Well, he's got a star on the Walk of Fame for movies with a movie symbol on it, but he's not a movie star.
No, he's just a peasant wrestler that's never transcended above.
He's an outsider, you know. But I mean, I could go on for hours.
Foreign take this year was Dick Masterson letting us know that Cuties with 13-year-old girls getting naked and twerking on stage was a work of art, and it was sexy. And he defended pedophiles like Mr. whatever the fuck his name is. What's that fucking pedophile's name? He came out with a rap song this week saying that he was a pedophile and he touched kids. Fucking Mr. Girl. His name is Mr. Girl.
It's
and
rough,
Dick and Vito
isn't
were
it?
sweeping it up for this fucking guy. It's just disgusting. Sean was abhorred. And then Dick was defending Lolicon as being based around the same time. It was just a disgusting, abhorrent take from Diddler Dax. He's now earned the moniker from now until the end of time of Diddler Dax, and he lost his troll shield from Juice and the Caring Farms as a result of this take. He lost what little troll shield he had left. It's tough.
It's a sad
take.
thing. But now we have the worst take of all, perhaps, in many ways. T-clips, paywalling clips of other people's streams.
Way worse than any of these other fucking takes. It was disgusting.
How do you justify this? This is fucking awful.
Paywalling.
It'd be easier to justify the Holocaust.
What a disaster.
Let me just say, it would be easier to justify the Holocaust, American slavery, Jim Crow. It would be easier to justify, killing Amber Jeffries than it would be to justify this take, to be honest. But anyway, who won this fucking award?
Kraut, let us know.
And now the award for the worst take of the year. And the winner is, for putting clips behind a paywall, T-Clips Amber Jeffries.
Obviously, fucking obviously. There's not even a question. It's
It's not even a question of warrant take. Amber Jeffries, congratulations, you fat fucking bitch. You fat fucking bitch.
What a cunt.
Well,
now we have next award, the Janny of the year. And the nominees are Janny Juice, Janny Jim, Janny Gator, and Janny Sargoy.
I think all of the other three are pretty obvious, but people are going to be clutching their pearls at us mentioning Janny Jim. But Janny Jim did sweep it up this year, or did try to. The last time he ever streamed was a stream with Leo Pirate and PPP, where he tried and failed to clean up the new Project 2 scandal. It was really an act of just shameless Jannyism, wasn't it?
He was trying to sweep it up so he could keep his few grand a month that he was making through Dick Masterson. I mean, that's what it was.
He was saying there was nothing to see here. What are you talking about? I don't even know about this.
I had no idea.
I had no idea.
It was just some cigarette smoking man X-Files fucking level cover up from fucking Jim. He was like, ban it, ban the evidence, burn it down. Because we caught on to the truth.
Well, the biggest
because why
thing
else would he come down from the heavens?
He said, look, I mean, if any of this comes back to be true, I'll do another stream with us and we'll discuss our findings. That never transpired. Jim didn't come to his word. He lied about having cancer, allegedly, according to Crap, according to Sargon.
Just never been seen again.
Never been seen again. It truly was an exercise in Jannyism, janitorialness.
And what can you
janitorial
it was just awful because
it's from a man who's not normally a Janny, but
it was from a man of a position of respect. Like Gator never really had any respect to begin with, nor did Sargoy, nor did Josh really. No one's star shone more brightly than Jim's. And so it was a devastating blow to all of us when we realised that this man was just a Janny. This man
was a Janny for his internet friends and his financial benefactors.
Yeah. He was calling Dick Masterson boss. Yeah, that's what he was doing. And
yes, Master. Yes, Master Masterson.
Yeah,
yes, Master. But, we have to give some credit to Janny Juice, Janny Gator, and Janny Sargoy. They all performed very acts of Janny, commendably, especially Janny Juice, I thought, this year. He swept it up pretty hard.
Well, Juice really tried to sweep it up during the Simpspiracy. He was locking the thread. He was moving it to various places. He was
even denying what a mansion was, wasn't he? He was even trying to battle
he was defending the crack shack. He was defending the crack shack. It's a mansion to me because I lived in a trailer, guys.
Like, good Lord.
Just fuck's sake. Then we had Sargoy, who has done an incredible job banning all dissent from my chat. Anybody who doesn't acknowledge me as the tribal chief and the big dog has been banned by Sargoy. It's true. He's been sweeping all those people up. And look, I'm not directing him to do it. It's of his own volition that he's jannying the chat. Sargoy's probably handed out 500-600 bans this year. It's addition by subtraction in his eyes. It's like a Holocaust of bans. Tough.
It's true. And of course, Janny Gator an always perennial favorite.
Perennial
but only one.
favorite.
Well, Gator has never really had a day off, has he? He's always managed to pick up that broom every single day and clean it up for his master. I don't think there's... does Gator have, like, holidays? Is he allowed time off?
Does he have benefits? Is there sick leave for this janitorial position? Is there a pension?
It's a 24/7 role that he's performing, and he's performing it commendably, really.
Well, he did win the award for loyalty, guys. Remember that from earlier in the
No matter
stream, so.
what it is, he's there the next day to sweep it up. No matter how retarded Ralph gets, Gator will offer a defense, and it's usually that it's Kraut's fault.
But
yes, a gay op.
It's a gay op.
His sweeping good enough to get him the award? Let's go to Kraut and find out.
And now the award for Best Janny and Most Dedicated Janny of the Year. And the winner is Janny Jim.
Janny fucking Jim! Sweep it up! Sweep it up! Sweep!
Sweeping the carpets. Mopping the floors.
For a Mexican Jew. He's mopping the floor for a Mexican Jew.
Speaking of Janny Jim, we have our next award, a very special award for the Slowest Dying Man Award. And the nominees...
Dying Man Award. What are the nominees, Mr. Gahul?
The nominees are James Augustine, James O'Shaughnessy, Internet Aristocat, Games Good, Me Bad, Mr. Medicare, Mr. Anti-Bully, and Quarantined Coof.
Truly a variety of individuals there. Should we find out what the winner and whom the winner is?
And now the award for Most Slowly Dying Man of the Year.
No, it's Slowest Dying Man.
Okay, sorry. And now the award for Slowest Dying Man. And the winner is Jim James O'Shaughnessy Augustine Aristocrat.
Wow, I can't believe it.
Inspiring victory from Daddy Jim.
It's a shock upset.
Maybe he can
dying man.
He can either speed up the dying, or maybe he can come and talk to us about new Project Jew. I don't know. Maybe one of those two things. Hopefully,
we'll find out. Now we have a special award, the award for the best Twitter account, the man who has the best Twitter feed of all time this year. The nominees are Movie Bob, Spoonie Noah Antwiller, Kraut, and Coach Red Pill.
And the winner is...
And now for Best Twitter of the Year. And the winner is Noah Antweiler.
Year of the Spoonie 2021! Yes! This is your year! It's your year, motherfucker!
It's the year of the Spoonie.
Fuck. Alright, guys, we're down to our last two awards, and we saved the second to last for the worst award of all, the Best Fanboy Award. No, he lost PPP, no! The Best Fanboy nominees this year are Trifox, a.k.a. Godwin Spick, Stoned Mexican Guy, SMG, and Razmaz.
Now, all of these are my favourites, really. Godwin Spick is just... I mean, like I say, flattery. Imitation is the best form of flattery, and Godwin Spick's parodies of me and Surfer being Surfer's son have just been excellent this year. The guy really has gone the extra mile.
Gets you everywhere, brother.
Another person that goes the extra mile is Stone Mexican Guy, who seems to be in every single stream that happens. He's always there. He's a loyal fellow. And Razmaz has been on streams, the live stream, that have had 8 viewers.
Yes.
He truly is.
Mine.
He truly is a loyal fanboy. I mean,
Razmaz great.
I mean, I'm glad they enjoy the content, and it always brings pleasure to me when I see them in the chats.
I'm happy for all of them except for Stone Mexican Guy, because he's a Bailey-obsessed little bitch. I fucking hate Stone Mexican Guy. He can go fuck himself. We're going to have a debate. We're having a debate soon once he's not fucking at his quinceañeras for his essays, hombre. Once he's done pounding back cervezas, we'll have our little debate. But fuck you, SMG. Bailey sucks. I hate you. Die.
And now the award for Best Fanboy of the Year. And the winner is Godwin Spick.
Godwin Spick.
Well done, my friend.
Yeah, try Fox, Godwin Spick, boy. Yeah, boy.
Bravo.
I want to let everyone know, Trifox, if you want an award, a physical award, I will print you one and I'll send you one. So don't worry, man. We will honor you with a physical Golden Gun. So.
And I'll sign it.
Yes. We'll make an international smuggling ring to it.
Bullshit. You won't do shit. Anyway.
And now, it's our final, most prestigious award. It's the
Ethan Ralph
Award for Best Showman.
The real Mac Daddy of them all. The top award. The ultimate award for the Golden Guns. You could say this is the goldenest of Gunts. The heaviest. The 20 pounds of Gunt.
Let's remember that it's named after a man without whom we would not have these awards, Ethan Ralph, who spawned the phrase into the English language, Gunt.
The English language?
English language? Coming from the fucking English teacher? It's not the Queen's proper fucking English, you
It's not even English.
You cock-sucking fucking chav, you. Anyway.
Where were you? The English language, Ethan
The
Ralph.
English language, you fucked the whole thing. I was trying to give this beautiful soliloquy to our mensch, Ethan Ralph. I fucking am not the excellence of elocution like fucking Razor Fist with a goddamn script taped to my sunglasses, motherfucker. Cut me some slack here, motherfucker. Anyway, without Ralph, we wouldn't even be fucking here. Everybody on your knees, hail to the fucking mensch, for this fucking award is named after him. This year, what are the fucking nominees? Jesus H. Christ.
We have the nominees here. The nominees were Dutton, Ethan Ralph, Mr. Vickers, Gahul, PPP, Surfer, Godwinson, Alex Jones, Bausch, and Kraut.
Dutton is my personal pick for this because Dutton is just... I mean, he is showman in every single one of his videos. He's the personification for me, the definitive example of what a showman is. Every single one of his videos, Mr. Dutton, Dr. Dutton, he gives not only a galactic brain take, but he does it in such a way that you're entertained, you're laughing, you're with Dutton in the moment. And that's all you need to be. You don't need to take away his lessons, what he's saying. I can't even remember what he's saying when I reach the end of the videos. I'm just overwhelmed with joy and entertainment. It's Dutton.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever actually got to the end of a Dutton video? Because he is a showman for the first 2 minutes of every video. For 2 minutes of each video, he's a showman.
He snaps out of character.
And he snaps out of character and becomes a boring science man. So
but that's the
tough.
show, isn't it? That's the showmanship. It's like,
is it?
He shows you his power level right at the beginning and then hooks you in. And then you have to sit through the take, knowing that at any moment he could just burst into insanity and start flinging his own feces
let's give
at
a
the
bit
wall.
of praise to Kraut for his performance this year. With the retard helmet, lumberjack.
And even on this
Kraut.
show, like Kraut really has brought his A game, and he will bring his
the
A
memes
game at
against
the end of
haters.
this award. When he presents this award, you will see Kraut's A game, and it's fun.
You will see why Kraut probably should win this award as he presents it. Who else? I mean, I was on the list this year. I probably do deserve this award. I was a king. Adam Godwinson was nominated as well. Surfer was nominated. Surfer fucking pork chop stream this year.
Surfer was my pick. You mean Surfer is a fucking man, you know. He's my personal pick, and I'm on the list, and normally I'll pick myself, but Surfer's such a fucking amazing showman. You gotta go with Surfer.
Surfer's really, I mean, he's the breakaway character, isn't he? He's the breakout character. I mean, more people, I suspect more people probably
if this was a sitcom
than they do for PPP.
If this was a sitcom,
he is the breakaway character.
He's
like the Fonzie or something. He might get a spin-off. You know what I mean? He's just a very interesting fucking guy. And he goes wild. He goes fucking wild, folks. He really is something. So Surfer, he's in contention. Who else do we have on this list?
We have myself, because I was
truly
a showman.
The coronation of Gahul we should really talk about, you know. I just want to talk about, there was maybe 3 videos that you put out a couple of months ago that were just brilliant. You had the Neat Wizard, right? which was just amazing. Riddle me this, I bring you riddles 3. Doing your best Mako from Conan the Barbarian. It was just brilliant. But just prior to that, you released a video that was you bearing your soul for 12 minutes about how you wanted to die. About how, what was it? Some girl rejected you. No, you feared asking a girl out because you knew that you would be incompatible. And it was just the variety of content. We saw the man at his lowest low, literally begging for the noose. And then we saw, an instant later, you were the neat wizard asking for riddles. And then you were coronated as Incel King. What a golden age for Gahul content.
It was a golden age.
This was a great year for me in terms of content. For most other things, it was a pretty dog shit year for me. But, towards the end of 2020, I really turned it around and put some good videos out. I thought my wrestling match this year was actually quite good. I think that was better than the movie even that I made. I thought it was a very good wrestling match. But, I'm not here to jerk myself off because Mr. Vickers is the next nominee here, and he was excellent this year as well.
What a showman. He made his own website, cataloging all of his daughter's faults in a timeline. He published all of his daughter's texts.
He did an interview with you like it was fucking Maury or Jerry Springer.
Yeah, he even brought his wife along. What a showman! What a showman!
Did we mention that Alex Jones, Vouch, and Kraut are all also nominated as well? Did I mention
Alex Jones is nominated? Some incredible shit from Alex on a daily basis.
In the tank.
The tank was awesome.
Kino,
before, people downplay this, but before the riots and before the insurrection on January 6th, there were some other protests at DC that Alex was in. Those were very good protests. Alex was at. He was on top form there. I thought Alex was pretty great this year. I thought he was one of my favorite guys to watch this year. I really enjoyed him.
Yeah, he was definitely entertaining. I think even now he's been quote unquote deplatformed. He's actually become more entertaining, hasn't he? His takes are definitely wilder than they were.
Well, listen, I think
in order for him to break through now, he has to be fucking crazy, otherwise nobody will listen to it.
Yeah, he's definitely not phoning it in. I think whilst he was on YouTube, that last year or so, he was definitely phoning it in, wasn't he? It wasn't very good. But now he's really at the top of his A game.
Well, and on the Joe Rogan, and that's good. But what's great? He did the smart thing that I think everyone will eventually do. When YouTube took him down, he didn't cry and bitch and try and start a new fucking, YouTube offspring like BitChute or Odyssey. He said, fuck it, I'm hosting my videos on my site. I have my CB, shortwave radio broadcast you can listen to all over the country. That's how you watch me. That's how you listen to me. That's what everyone needs to do. When you get deplatformed from YouTube and you can't come back because you've gone through too many burner emails, put your own videos on your own site. That's the only thing you can do.
This is it. And all of these grifts, like BitChute and Odyssey, they're just scams. And they're always going to be a honeypot.
No!
They are. And
hosting the entire internet's video catalog is not reasonable.
Honest about deplatforming and decensorship, there's no such thing. You can stay on YouTube, God willing. Maybe you won't be able to monetize. Who cares about monetization?
Exactly.
BitChute, it's purely there so you can funnel money to your PayPal. And then Odyssey is just another crypto scam altogether, which Xander has the back end on. It's just a scam. Alex Jones is the example and the model to follow, isn't he? Shortwave radio signals, your own website, money in the mail.
What else can you say?
Let's not cut Father Vouch a short end of the stick. This
Vouch
year,
was great.
He debated Nazis nearly every day. He debated, I think, 6 Canadian Nazis last month, dunked on all of them, had the intense debate with Kraut, had debates with Destiny. He won the Hippy Dippy Championship belt there. Vouch basically triumphed in every aspect this year. He made tens of thousands of dollars.
No, this was his year. This was absolutely his year. And you know what? I don't even know if he won that often, but the reality is he was always entertaining. He's always at the forefront of the discussion. He's always the
entertainment doesn't come from bombastic shenanigans or antics. It comes from just an entertaining smugness that he carries, doesn't it?
Yes.
He's a very
it's his aura of smugness.
Of just smugness.
I'm right because
I'm right and you're wrong.
Because I have the authority on my side. I'm the Catholic priest of today. Anyway, and Ethan Ralph, let's do a quick rundown of his accomplishments as a showman this year.
Well, you can't deny that Ethan Ralph definitely stepped it up this year. I speculated that he was trying to do this purposefully, become a copper cow, become like a self-aware lol cow just to get shekels, become like DSP almost, because his grift was dying, and so he had to do more and more crazy shit to level it up and get more people watching. And it worked. It absolutely worked. I mean, whether or not it was a Gunt sex tape, or Faith Vickers, or the parents, or the Transon family fights, I mean, he's always managed to really step it up. You know, when he does something crazy, it'll be a good sort of crazy. It's not going to be a boring crazy. You know, it's going to be something that endangers his entire existence, his family, his yet to be born son.
Yes.
It's going to be something crazy and wild, like pill streams, like
shaving his head on the air for pennies.
Live on air for $200. You know, just crazy, wild shit. Firing Rand on the spot, threatening to reveal recordings of his wife crying about having a miscarriage.
Oh.
I mean, you just know that the man will go to the lowest of the low for the highest of entertainment. He will always produce a
Ralph
net good to society.
I mean, the reality is, who defined this year in entertainment for us? Who was the most person we looked at the most? And the reality is, for me, it's Surfer, Ralph, and Vouch were the ones who had the best year. I thought I had a very good year too. So did PPP. It's actually, but I think PPP's I think you're up there too. But really, it's Ralph and Vouch were the ones who really like defined this year. It's like they're the two sides of the same coin.
Number one pick for this? I mean, my number one pick is Dutton. I think Edward Dutton, Dr. Dutton, deserves this award.
You know what? I think Surfer does deserve the award this year.
He does.
I think. Surfer has whipped out his penis not once, not twice. I think at least 3 times this year for people's entertainment. There was the coal burner tale. He told the tale of drilling for oil at the black woman's party. We had the tale of the succubus this year from Surfer.
My favorite Surfer tale was when he had a dream and he woke up and he relayed the tale of that dream where he was... was I there? I think I was there. He was like telling me that he was scared of becoming a Jew. He was scared of his latent Jewishness coming to the fore, and he was having these dreams about jizzing on pennies. Like he held these pennies, and they just what was this? Jizzing on money, right? What was this?
I can just hear his voice.
Where he was being tempted by a Jew.
I was a Jew, and I took the pennies.
Yeah, I was just sat there baffled as he was telling me about how he was having these dreams, these wet dreams about jizzing over pennies.
I don't know. I for me, it's Surfer and Ralph are right up there, and Mr. Kraut is probably number 3, in my opinion. I mean, Surfer and Ralph are A1, AB. You know, either one of them are A, and Kraut's probably in the B tier just below. I mean, Kraut, when you really think about the position that Kraut was in just a few years ago on the internet, where he was a big scholar, skeptic, taken super seriously as an intellectual, and now he's on this fucking show
with a retard
helmet.
The irony of it all is that Kraut's bigger than he's ever been before. You know, both physically and in terms of numbers. And the winner.
Well, let's go to Kraut, baby. Kraut, thank you so much.
Award for showmanship. Mr. Kraut, take it away.
And now, finally, ladies and gentlemen, the Ethan Ralph Award for showmanship. And the winner is, and there never really was any doubt, Ethan Ralph. And Ethan, I shall take my bow before you. Congratulations, Ethan.
This is the story of the greatest man who's ever lived. Ethan Ralph, stand up, sir. Once upon a time, you raped a 13-year-old girl behind the back of an Arby's. And then you led a horde of autistic people to harass Zoe Quinn and Anita Sarkeesian. You were truly there on the front lines. You and Gator and John Michael Kennedy, your former co-host. You were there. You stood. You were counted. You're Ethan Ralph. And that was enough achievement for one man, surely. But you carried on attaining those accolades. You carried on reaching the highest peak. And once you reached the summit, you realised there were more mountains to climb, and you climbed them, Ethan Ralph. You punched that female police officer. You served your time. You got out, a broken man, but ready to rebuild. You humiliated Jarbo in front of an audience of millions. You exposed Sargon and the angel baby. You even laughed when he said that his wife had miscarried. When you recorded your co-host, Rand, the Randbot, a man who calls you his absolute mensch, Ethan Ralph, no! You recorded him as he cried about his wife's miscarriage, and at that point I thought surely Ethan Ralph now has enough achievements in life to truly ascend to a sort of godlike deity. Alas, I was wrong. Because then you went to Knoxville and you allowed a protruding part of your body to reveal itself. A hanging grizzled gunt. And subsequently you've allowed that gunt into the light of day in more ways than one. You've seen the gunt rippling beneath the jellied bottom of Faith Vickers as a pig hoof was thumbed right into her unwiped starfish. We then saw you invade a household filled with transsexuals and degenerates. The Transon family household was invaded. Ethan Ralph brought justice to all and sundry. But perhaps Ethan Ralph's greatest achievement is that he managed to cultivate a team. He managed to cultivate a family of sorts with his Gator and his Andy and his Bibble, his Fragmenco, loyal capos to the last. Loyal. Whatever adversity their mensch faces, their master faces, they face it with him. That is love right there. Unconditional, fraternal love. And if we think about the legacy that Ethan Ralph will leave when he prematurely slips into that alcoholic coma and never wakes up, we think about the legacy he leaves behind. He leaves behind a model for all Jannies. He leaves behind the definitive example of a loyal friend. And that's Gator. We think about what he'll leave behind biologically, and that'll be baby Xander. Xander. Ethan Ralph, I take a bow to you, sir. You deserve this award. And Godspeed to you, my friend. It's a Godwinson Live news alert. This is it, folks. The end. I'm not really one for speeches, but I'll leave you with a few passing words. Trust no one. Believe in the bumblebees and the black oil virus and the super soldiers. Your most wildest, craziest take you can think of, it's real.
Hello, this is a quick video just saying, when should a man give up and take the black pill or wherever? Well, first off, if you're 25 years old and up and still virgin, probably should give up and take the black pill because there's no time back from that one.
Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with Kieran and here with Jamie. And today we're going to be doing one of the horriblest challenges ever. The lemon and lime. We have to put a lemon in our mouth and a lime, not at the same time, and we have to not make a face. We've got to keep a straight face.
Whilst I might be riding off into the sunset, never to be seen again, my replacement is already here. The show must go on.
It's a Godwin Spick Live news alert on the status of Ethan Ruff's dying fucking career. Let's get drunk first. You fat motherfucker. You know who the realist is, Ralph? It's the A-Logs. West Side. It's true.
Well, Guntleman, it's over. Godwinson has left this plane. He's gone to a better place. And now as he drives off to that great big shitpost in the sky, all we can say is, Godspeed, Godwinson. God fucking speed. Where would we be without you, man? What will we do without you? How will we go on? I don't know. You were the lifeblood that kept this side of the internet alive and together and milking Kino and Nectar. You were the man doing that. Now, easily going to be dark days ahead. But grieve not for our friend Godwinson. Grieve not. Because he would not want that. What he would want is not a downtrodden, grief-stricken, sad excuse of a man blubbering about times past. Godwinson would want us to carry on in his honor and great, sweet, sweet Kino Nectar from the heavens in his memory. Gone but not forgotten. And every logging and every sweet drop of drama nectar and every sweet piece of Kino that has ever made, there'll be a little piece of Godwinson in it. He put his soul in this community. He bared his soul and he put his heart and his soul into this world. And now we have to put his heart and soul into everything we do as well. Remember, he acts through you now. Jesus Christ rose on the third day, but Godwinson will rest forever and ever. And that is how all men should die, even Godwinson. Rest in peace, my friend. Inshallah. Alayhim. Now, I must bring your casket to the burial site. I shall drive this mighty hearse with you in it to your end. Thank you.
Friends, family, and countrymen, we are gathered here today to commemorate the life and legacy of our dearly beloved Baronet Adam Edge, better known to his friends as Godwinson. Born a baronet, an aristocrat of the royal bloodline of reptilians that rule England, Adam could have done anything with his life. He could have been a banker, a lawyer,
a slimy journalist for the BBC. Gonzalo Lira, Coach Red Pill, had even said he might aspire to be Prime Minister of England. But it was our dearly beloved Adam's fervent belief that the elite of society should do their best to serve the needs of the common people instead of being served. And so it was with that fervent belief that our dear baronet dedicated his whole life to the pursuit of delivering Kino and nectar to the undeserving, ungrateful plebeian masses. It was truly, and is, the highest and noblest pursuit that a man could ever hope to pursue. Adam was an auteur, an artist, a connoisseur of the finest Kinos. He was, with me, one half of the greatest creative partnership to have ever graced this corner of the interwebs, the P.P. Winson partnership. And together we went on one hell of a ride. I shan't forget soon the many times, the many fine evenings we spent together, orchestrating the downfall of the human refuse and filth, Ethan Ralph, Diddler Dax, and the ever-deplorable and parasitic Amber Jeffries. Adam was a man in his prime years. He was youthful and vibrant, but sadly, he was cut down far too soon. We thought it would be the mRNA vaccine he took. We thought it would cripple him, take away his creativity, take away his youthful vibrance, and leave him a shell of a man, a slave to the New World Order through the microchip in his brain, to global homo, and to the diverse leftist agenda. But no, those fears thankfully were allayed by the fact that as one of the reptilian bloodline, the mRNA vaccine to him was as sugar water to us. And so it was a great reprieve to continue to see Adam pursue his creative endeavors and his works. But sadly, this past week, Adam Edge was struck down in his prime, taken from us by a vicious, cold-blooded killer, John Michael Kelly, who upon realizing that his Lifetime Achievement Award was not Godwinson recognizing his greatness, finally, as John had wanted all these years, but was just another opportunity for our dear English friend to play Kick the Autistic. John tracked down Godwinson in his castle keep, using his Spurgops training that he received during Gamergate, his incel terrorist training. John Michael Kelly tracked down Adam Edge to his castle keep and stabbed him 33 times with a letter opener that our dear baronet had been gifted by the Queen herself. And to top it all off, the shame of it all, John bashed our dear baronet's head in with a Kylo Ren Funko Pop, his brains splattered upon the regal carpet of his office. An ignominious end to so noble a soul. We will remember Godwinson as an upstanding member of the Kino community, a man who never monetized, who didn't live long enough to see himself become the villain. Godspeed, Adam, into that great beyond. Oh, and since I know you're watching me up there from the great beyond, it's time to feast upon the grotesque bloody horror there one more time, buddy. From the big dog, the tribal chief there, pal. Oh!